have him. I have to tell the city, I have to tell the nation, Black folks, when we step up, we show out. And this mother had nowhere else to go, no resources, and everything she had, she lost. And he heard her and replaced it, literally everything. And I just thought that that was so special. So I get to spend my morning with Mojo Brooks, and I want to welcome you, Mojo, to the Cleopatra Show.
Thank you. Thank you. That was beautiful. Thank you for having me this morning.
Um,
Happy birthday.
oh, thank you so much. And that's how I wanted to spend it. I wanted to raise up our unsung heroes, and you were it for me. And I just thought that that was just
Thank
so
you.
dope. Absolutely. I mean, even on the tape, you said all I heard her say was that that was everything I had. Everything I had. What I'm supposed to do
Yeah.
for my children. And right now in this economy, in this world that is so cruel,
Yeah.
you, out of all the places, spaces, God made it so the algorithm and the stars aligned that this black man heard her. And I just had to
Yeah.
give you some flowers.
Yeah. I appreciate that. I knew as soon as I seen the video, that I was going to reach out and help. Like you said, you just
Did I lose you? Oh, okay. Mojo will be right back. We are up live on Facebook now. He'll be right back with us. He's en route to the airport and he's calling now. But I just thought it was so powerful to really uplift this brother. Squatters has been a thing, and Illinois is trying to do something about it, but they're not moving quick enough. Do we have him back? Mojo, you're
back.
back with
Yeah.
me?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm back.
So I know you saw the video and you literally stepped up and showed out. So talk to us about that.
Yeah. So, like I said, when I saw the video, I knew, instantly, like, that, that I was going to reach out and, help her out. And like I said, like you said in the tape, it was just, just hearing that frustration of, man, what I'm gonna do. I worked hard for this stuff, and having kids, like you said, the economy, it's hard out here. It ain't, it just ain't as simple as replacing things. Everything is so much more expensive now, and a lot of people are doing it on their own. So I'm just thankful that God has blessed me in ways that that I'm able to step in and do what my heart always wants to do, and that's help people. And I'm glad I was, in a position to do so. And I'm glad that, she was in a position to receive what I here for and, and do what was, best for her family.
No, like I said, you've motivated me to identify some diamonds in the rough. And, folks probably like, why are you're my CEO. Why you want to come to work on your birthday? First of all, God gave me another lap around the sun. Amen.
Yeah,
And with
amen.
that, I will use every breath in my body to identify black excellence. And that
Yeah,
moment is it. Too often we don't uplift just that, you know.
yeah,
And you could have kept it moving, but like you said, not only were you in the position to do something about it, you were shown an opportunity to elevate somebody that was in need. And I have yet to lay eyes on either one of you all. And like you saw it, I saw you give to her, and I said, "Oh wow, it's time to uplift this brother in a special way." So our
yeah,
WVON family, this is our very own. He's an actor, comedian, and when there is an opportunity, Mojo, to support you, holla back at me. I'm gonna use everything in my broadband to uplift you because I think what you did, more of us that can do something should do something.
absolutely, absolutely,
When
absolutely. And I appreciate that.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the universe has a way of reciprocating itself, and good things come to good folk that to whom much is given, much is expected. And the fact
Yeah.
that you are reciprocating that is awesome. So let me ask you this: what's next for you? I know you about to fly out of here. You about to stand in line. I'm not even gonna say 4 hours, 4 minutes. I'm gonna give you 4 minutes of power. They're gonna look at you and be like, "Oh no, bro, come right
You
through."
know what? I mean, yeah, I'm in Chicago. They're gonna let me right through the airport.
Take me through that. Take me through that.
Yeah, they gonna get me right through. But no, I'm in the process of writing a movie, and then later, in a few months, I'll start my own headline theater tour, and I'll be doing my first headline arena here in Chicago, September the 11th at the Wintrust Arena. So, a lot of big things happening. Like I said, it's all blessings, and just the same city that before anybody else knew me, this was the first city to recognize me. So, anytime that I can pour back into the place that is, kind of contributed to me becoming a household name, I'm always, if I can be there, I'm going to be there.
Well, one thing about it, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to commit to host your listen, because everybody going to text me and be like, what, he looking for extras? What are you looking for? I volunteered to help with your screening process of whatever you need. But more importantly, whenever you are in tour, whatever you're doing, let us know you have a home here. I will always uplift and celebrate you. You dope in my book.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Oh, no doubt. So safe travels to you, and continue to be a blessing, because I know it's going to come back tenfold.
For sure. I appreciate that. And yeah, we'll be talking soon.
All right. Lovely. So listen, guys, you heard it right here. Our very own actor, comedian, Mojo Brooks. He was in the building, and a blessing in disguise. If you haven't, now is the time. This economy is hard out here. You heard him, but he heard that Black mother cry, and he answered, and he stepped up. And on my birthday, I just wanted to kick it with him for a little bit and share him with you all, because I think the unsung heroes in Chicago is by the plenty, and he's one of many. We'll be back after this break.
More from Cleopatra coming up next on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Tuned in to your favorite WVON personalities on Facebook Live? Don't just watch, like it, love it, share it. Every click helps us grow the conversation and keep the community strong. So remember, like it, love it, share it, Chicago.
Have you checked out WVON's digital streaming network, Bond TV? It's everywhere on Roku, Apple TV Plus, Amazon Fire, on the WVON app, and at VON.TV. Bond TV, it's cultural content on purpose.
Hi, I'm attorney Ernesto Borges. I'd like to invite you to join me for the Borges Report, for lively discussions about legal matters, politics, government, entertainment, and the topics that concern you in your life. Start your Sunday the Borges way with the Borges Report.
The Borges Report with Ernesto Borges, Sunday mornings at 9 on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Hi, I'm Lori Smith, host of Meeting the Moment. WVON, in partnership with the Chicago Community Trust, developed Meeting the Moment to amplify the voices of nonprofits across Chicagoland, giving them the communication tools they need to expand their reach and turn awareness into action. Right now, our communities are facing real challenges, from economic uncertainty to public safety to access and equity. But in the middle of it all, there are organizations doing the work quietly, faithfully, powerfully. With Meeting the Moment, we'll have honest conversations about the issues shaping our region, and more importantly, the solutions happening on the ground. And each week, we'll feature a Chicagoland nonprofit making a difference. You'll hear their story and find out how you can support their work. Because Meeting the Moment is about more than just awareness. It's about impact. Join the Meeting the Moment movement, a program designed for the doers. For more information, visit WVON.com/Meeting the Moment. Listen every Saturday at 12 noon, right here on WVON 1690, the Talk of Chicago. Let's meet the moment together. Powered by the Chicago Community Trust.
Pizza's here.
Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years.
I'm done with this. Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. Mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
WVON traffic and weather now.
No major delays right now, but we are tracking a few incidents right now on the inbound side of the Ryan. That earlier accident at Canal Port causing some big delays starting at 43rd Street and stop and go all the way to Roosevelt Road. And turning to the inbound side of the Bishop Ford, you want to look out for metal debris on the road at 159th Street. Apparently crews are right now on the scene cleaning that up. Taking a look at our weather, cloudy and cold today. Temperatures struggling through the 30s. We're headed to a daytime high of around 43. Currently, it's 33 at Midway, 33 in Harvey, and 33 here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm in Illinois on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
And now back to the Cleopatra Show on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
And good morning. Good morning. The time is 9:23. Thank you, Titus. I really appreciate it. Yes, I am celebrating a birthday. I have not left this decade yet. I can see the door. I can see the light under the door. And I am very grateful for another lap around the sun. I was just talking briefly to the mayor. It is also his birthday as well. Can't join us today, but he was hanging out this week on one of the shows, so that's cool. So he's celebrating that big 5-0, so God bless him. Happy birthday, Mariah Carey, our other birthday twin. I can go down the list of some Black excellent folks born today. I just really wanted to begin to pinpoint unsung heroes for my birthday. So throughout the year, I want you all to look forward to that because they're not always written. I don't expect the Tribune to pick that up. That's just not that's not within the crust of their conservative values. Even if I were to write an op-ed, they probably wouldn't find that to be valuable. But it was invaluable to me and Sonia to uplift Mojo because too often Black mothers are just on their own. And before folk call me and say, well, you shouldn't have had this child and so on and so forth, we don't know her story. Some people lose their life partners. This is a crazy world. I just saw yesterday a firefighter who had fallen 27 years young, left behind his widow and their child, and she went into labor with their second child, which halted the funeral services. But because of one can identify probably or assume that they're Caucasian, you're going to assume that she is wedded and or divorced or he's no longer deceased. So with this mother, I won't assume what happened to her in life, but I know that the expectations of life goes on and she had children to provide for and nobody came to her rescue but Mojo. So right on to Mojo. And he is forever in my book and he ought to be in yours too. So when we have opportunities to uplift good brothers and good sisters that are doing excellent things, unsung heroes, let's do that. So if you have a few, kick them to me. You know how to follow me. Follow me at Follow Cleopatra across all social media platforms. I have a special announcement on Monday of some other stuff you can keep up with me on. But for now, people send me all type of leads in terms of all of the chaos that's going on in the city. Send me something good, and I would love to uplift it. I appreciate all of the happy birthday wishes. I woke up to my mother telling me happy birthday, my siblings FaceTiming me, my children telling me happy birthday best that they could. I'm very grateful. We have a fantastic show lined out for you. I did not open with my clip. I will at 9:30 because I wanted to talk about something good before I got to what's going on in the hood. It's some stuff kicking up. You know, with Chicago and shy time weather, there is something going on in the minds of the younger people, right? And I'm not being accusatory when it comes to Zennials, but I am looking at the earliest stint of Zennials and those that are there after them. And they fall into the cesspool of the arching framework of teen takeover. I found it to be troubling. It absolutely is. Because I think the intentionality behind it is so diabolical to the unraveling of all of the work that the Johnson administration has put forth to say, see, this is why you got to have snap curfew. See, this is why you got to build up these gates to protect said group down here so they can stay in their own communities. And the lopsidedness of this argument is going to transform today. I am going to take it on today. I am hurt by what I saw because the vast majority of the children I saw were Black. I know that there are some listeners who say, see, we never talk about that. I mean, it's so much to talk about. Just like the brother that was gunned down in broad daylight doing a good thing. I'm going to talk about that Monday. I have never laid eyes on him, and I have been emotional ever since because why would you take his life? And they were Black. It's not to say that there's no Black on Black crime or Black on Black outlandish behavior, because in every said ethnic group, that is the height of it, right? But these children, alleged children that I saw, the vast majority were Black. And as I was sitting in the hair salon, you know, my stylist said, where are their mothers? And I thought about my predecessor and I laughed. I always think about Perry. I laugh. And I said, well, they were raised by wolves. And she's never lied about that. But it's not funny, right? Like at some point, where is the consequences? And I know that in the legislative body of the automatic council, they're trying to stick it punitively to the parents. That's a joke, right? Like this is something deeper. So I want you all to lean in on the clip that I'm going to play. I'm going to take us to 1974. And these are Caucasian children and their iteration of when they see us. You want to hear this when we return. We'll be back after this break.
Cloudy and cold, temperatures struggling in the low 30s. Good morning. I'm Annette Flournoy, and here's what's happening. Vaughn TV kicks off its new season tonight with the opening feature, Say Her Name, The Life and Death of Sandra Bland. Tracy Scruggs, Vaughn's executive director, says this film goes beyond the headlines and asks questions that still have not been answered.
That's one of the reasons why we decided, this is going to be a perfect film for us to start the series, remembering, who we are, our culture, and folks who were fighting and standing up for us. A lot of people may not know that, Sandy had a blog. I mean, she was conscious and fighting for the rights of, Black Lives Matter before, the headlines.
Nearly 11 years ago, the 28-year-old was pulled over on the outskirts of Houston for failing to signal a lane change. Then 3 days later, was found dead in a jail cell. Her name, Say Her Name, The Life and Death of Sandra Bland, opens 7 p.m. tonight on Vaughn TV. Well, breaking overnight, TSA agents are closer to getting paid. In a rare overnight session, lawmakers voted to make steps towards ending the long security lines at airports across the nation, like at O'Hare. Perry Williams reports.
Overnight, the Senate passed a bill to fund most of Homeland Security, including the Transportation Security Administration. This air traveler at O'Hare Airport supports TSA agents who have gone weeks without pay.
It's the end of the day. Everybody needs to travel, and the people that work here at the airport should be taken care of, right? Because that's their job, and they shouldn't be put in the middle of a political situation.
The bill, which now goes to the House, would provide funding for all of DHS agencies except for ICE and Border Patrol. I'm Perry Williams.
The Supreme Court is set to hear arguments next week on President Trump's plan to end birthright citizenship. Opponents say his plan goes against the Constitution's 14th Amendment, which grants birthright citizenship to people born in the U.S. But the Trump administration argues the provision was meant to cover the children of former slaves, not the children of people in the country temporarily, under visas, or immigrants without legal authorization. Justices are set to hear arguments on the case April 1st. And the third No Kings protest against the Trump administration kicks off this weekend. Millions are expected to take to the streets across the country. Organizers say more than 3,000 people will show up in locations such as New York, Chicago, LA, and DC. It's the first No Kings protest to be held since the fatal shooting of 2 American citizens by federal agents in Minneapolis, as well as since the start of the war in Iran. That's a look at our news now on 1690 WVON. Traffic and weather up next. WVON News Time, 9:33.
Pump up the volume. Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Hey Alexa, play WVON 1690 AM.
Getting WVON 1690 AM station from iHeartRadio.
Try it out for yourself. America is listening to WVON.
This is your host and life coach, Linnell Harris, and I want you to join me every Sunday morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. for Inspirational Perspective. On Inspirational Perspective, we talk life vision, life purpose, and the show is all about helping you live the best life possible. So join me as we look at supporting you in living the life you intend to live and making your life's vision a reality. Every Sunday morning at 7 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 a.m. WVON.
This report is brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless. Every now and then, you find a deal that actually feels like a win. With Straight Talk Wireless, you get more and pay less. Now, that's a good deal. No contracts, no credit checks, no surprises. All on Verizon's 5G network. Find it in the same place you've always found straightforward prices. Exclusively at Walmart and straighttalk.com.
WVON traffic and weather now.
We're now monitoring a new accident happening near the Ryan. This one on the inbound off-ramp to the Chinatown feeder. Apparently, this crash is involving 4 vehicles. Taking a look at your weather, gray skies and cold temperatures right now in the 30s. The National Weather Service says we're headed to a daytime high of around 43. But then tonight, temps are expected to dip back down to 28. It's 33 at Midway, 33 in Harvey, and 33 degrees here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm Annette Flournoy on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
And now back to the Cleopatra Show on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
What do you think of black people?
I don't like them.
Why?
I really don't. Because I just think that they're always looking out to make trouble.
Better turn around, y'all. Let's go.
and it's white people start saying, "Get out of here, niggas. You know, get out my neighborhood. Don't come to the thing." Then they start hitting on her, throwing rocks and everything else. Throwing rocks. Because we were in their neighborhood. We went on a bike hike to McDonald's. We didn't mean to bother anybody. We had a nice parade down there. Gathering, so we went down there to see what was happening. I didn't even know people around here were like that. I've never experienced anything like this in my life. No, sure wish he had hit me with that rock. I would pick up the rock right next to me and hit him right dead in his face. They always say niggas are doing everything. They always say we're doing everything, right? Every time the white people come down the block, we don't push them out their neighborhood and throw rocks and start hitting them. We don't bother the white people around our neighborhood, but when we get in the white neighborhood, they just push us out. Yeah, everybody with us, they said we're nothing, you know, we're a piece of dirt, dogs. I mean, that's the way you treat an animal. I mean, God, we're human beings. You don't treat other people like that. It's just wrong. Black, white, I don't care. A person is a person. Skin should have no bearing on how you treat a person. That's just wrong. I hate their goddamn guts. You don't hate them.
Sweet.
I can't say that I hate them. I can't say that it's totally the kids' fault. I mean, I'm sure their parents had some bearing on the way they feel and everything else. I think it's just the system. I don't know.
How did this terrible thing affect your children? When they ask you these things, why? What do you tell them?
They are good and bad in every people, every race, regardless. Tell them that we just happen to be amongst a few people whose minds are warped. And I'm not going to teach them that, regardless of how many bombs they put at this house. I'm not going to teach my children hate.
And we are back. You're listening to the Cleopatra Show. The time is 9:39, and you heard the tape. This transpired in 1974. Now it's 2026. So what, 50 years ago? And I raised the vibration from there to now. For my birthday, I am going there. We were raising up unsung heroes, and we gave flowers to Mojo, a black man that heard a black woman in her pain. And I applauded him for it. And I know you all did too. So for whatever Mojo got going on moving forward, he has my undivided attention and support. And in raising the conversation, I'm going there because oftentimes I sometimes hear the accusations of how we don't discuss these things. And we absolutely do. So here's a check mark for the book. I leaned in on the footage of the teen takeovers, allegedly, because this is how they're being marked. I don't know how old these people are. I've seen big old beards too. But the point is, I saw the youth. I saw the youth on their face, and I also saw their faces were majority black. And I'm not going to say I was shamed, because in my own parenthood with my husband and I, in my village, I know those are not my children. Even in my contribution to my sister's upbringing, it still wouldn't have been mine, right? So who children are they? They still belong to us because I'm black, they black, right? But I'm not raising those children. Who's raising these babies? And I jokingly laugh, and I always think of my predecessor, Miss Perry Small. And she would say they were raised by wolves. And although I laugh, I know it's not funny, because in essence, what she's getting at is the core of the lack of values and the upbringing, and the cloth that they're cut from is of a different ilk. And then that's where I feel a moniker of shame, just a little bit, because they're black children. And then I see in the council of the legislation of the aldermanic body that represents 50 alders, and the executor being Mayor Johnson, the presiding president. I watched the white alders, gobble this up. I watched the Latino alders gobble this up. And then I watched my alderman lead the charge, right? He signed on with them. And then I watch a few lone soldiers, some of the black ones, some of the progressive hodgepodge, say, hey, I'm going to stand with the mayor and not demonize these children and not support SNAP curfew, yada, yada, yada. I watched the white alders say, hey, I'm going to build the tallest fence so you can't get over and that you can't infringe and you going to stay in your backyard. You don't cross these lines. So what is the path moving forward? Because it continues. Do you punish the parents? Where are the parents? Are they working a second job, a third job? Are they not working at all? Are they physically present? Are they wards of the state? It is so many scenarios of which identifier you can apply. Is it mental health? Are they being abused? Are they hungry? Are they illiterate? Why aren't they kept and held in love? That is the real question. Who's responsible for this? Is it the city? Like I said, which is why I don't necessarily always raise the argument, because that's the social worker side of my brain, right? Shout out to Jane Adam. It is a multitude of how you can see this without having a one-step approach to just build a wall to protect the hidden, the gem of the city. Why are they coming downtown? Is it because they have not and you have? Is it because it's attractive? Downtown is practically a ghost town, but it's still a place that probably is a foreign territory to them and they don't get to often. I can think of a multitude of ways, even in my time of leadership in Chicago Public Schools. I can go there. I want to hear from you. 773-591-1690. If you're old enough to know something about that tape, is it relevant today? Do you scoot over to Bridgeport and send your baby over there to go skate and ride their bikes? The answer is hell no. You know what time it is. Unless you don't want them to come back. And if they come back, will they come back in one piece? Are those unspoken, unsaid rules still in application? So when you see the teen takeover, why now? Where could they be? How many more jobs? Can the mayor done rolled out 30,000 plus jobs for the youth? The man done created a pathway for them to come work in the city. So is it job related? What is this? And then when you hear how white children felt when they saw black children and how they treated them in the 70s, is it still relevant today? And these children are now big old adults. I like when I see these big old grown folk and how they treat, and then when they see not only us, or when we see each other. Because some of you all were children at this time too. And then others like myself, twinkles in my father's eye. The phone lines are yours, 773-591-1690. We're going there. We're going to explore the Chicago teen takeover from the lens of you, especially those that live in a city. Too often folk call me and don't even live in the damn city. And it drives me nuts. But it doesn't mean that you don't have an opinion. But, what does it mean to me if your dollars do not transform my city because you pay for wherever you live? I'm going there. Let's talk to Robert. Robert, I see you on a live line. Talk to me. Welcome to WVON.
Thank you for taking my call.
Absolutely.
Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, I just wanted to say happy birthday. My birthday today also.
Happy birthday. What are you doing? You doing something special?
We having dinner in Lombard next tomorrow.
Well, amen. I wish you nothing but the best. Enjoy birthday dinner for me, and I wish you many more.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
You have a blessed day.
You too. You too. Let's talk to Michael. Michael, talk to me. Welcome to WVO.
Yeah. Good morning, Cleopatra.
Hey.
Let me say this. First of all, Alderman Brian Hawkins is a racist. Anytime you got over 100,000 white Hispanic kids allowed to go downtown to Grand Park, run through downtown, doing drugs, overdosing on opium, they protect them. The hospital wait for them to do what they're going to do. Arabs go downtown, they shut down Michigan Avenue, they shut down traffic. Nobody called it the Arab takeover. Nobody called it the 2 weeks ago when they killed the Iran president. Those people was downtown dancing, blocking traffic, waving their flag. Only when our black kids go down there. But you know the sad part about it? Our black aldermen and our black mayor close all the business in our community, but our black people go downtown to spend their money at the Goodman Theater, the Chicago Theater, the United Center. Why we allowed to go downtown and spend our money, but they don't profile nobody else kid but ours? That's an insult. And Alderman Anthonyville is nothing but a black shout-out Uncle Tom Coon. He should have been out of office a long time ago. That's my comment.
Thank you so much. You know, he said it. He said it. I was last year old when I learned the outcomes of Lollapalooza. I've literally never been. My husband said he can remember when there wasn't even fences up, so he mad. I'm probably telling his age, but the point is, I didn't know the overdosing and the drugs and the hydration issue and or alcoholism of just they are carrying them white kids out of there. I mean, but quietly though, the ambulance standing at the ready. You hear no report, like zero, nada, zilch. On top of that, the attire. So I think I was downtown shopping, or maybe I just left the studio or something, and I was going to grab something to eat. And I could say just how I said, little baby don't have on no clothes. I mean, absolutely. It was nothing left to the imagination. Little white girl. And all her girlfriends were dressed very similar, as though they had a dress code of nothing. And I said, man, it must be nice. And I wonder, how does that make, I've always wondered, how does it make Black children feel, you know, when they see the walls? Because eventually they built these walls up last year. These walls go on, and unless you can afford to go, you have no access. So that socioeconomic divide, again, it does not justify the behavior I saw, and I'm going to get to that. But it's okay to take our money as long as we take our behind back to where we came. And we come this way because we have not. So now we want not. And what I think I see these children doing is say, no, I ain't got nothing. I'm going to get on this train. I'm going to find out. See, you think your president can F around and find out. So can these shorties. But they are still woefully misguided because they don't know how to behave. And this erratic behavior, is it acting out to say, hey, I'm here because I don't know where to be? Where would you have me be? Because my schools aren't aren't equally yoked to my white counterparts. They're not met with equity. If that was the case, I'll hang out after school, but I don't, because I don't even want to be there during school because it's not where I want to be. I think there's some commonalities here that I want to explore with you. 773-591-1690. We are looking and going to put a analysis to this teen takeover. And like I said, when I saw the tape, I saw the vast majority were Black children. We'll be back after this break.
More from Cleopatra coming up next on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Xfinity Tech Support, Matthew speaking.
Hi, I live in a pretty remote place, like Jurassic Park remote. No!
Wow.
Will Xfinity Mobile work out here?
Yep, the combination of reliable Wi-Fi and 5G makes it so that you can stay connected in all kinds of places. Plus, you get access to ultra-fast speeds and coverage, whether you're poolside or out live streaming with a T-Rex.
Hold still, you're about to go viral.
Welcome to a new era of Wi-Fi boosted mobile. Cut your mobile bill in half with 2 lines of unlimited. Learn more at xfinitymobile.com. Xfinity, imagine that. Watch Jurassic Park with Xfinity. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet required. Savings comparison based on promotional rate for 2 lines of Xfinity Mobile Unlimited versus 2 lines of T-Mobile Experience More, Verizon Unlimited Plus, and AT&T Starter as of February 10th, 2026. Taxes, fees, extra.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com. If you have a 2004 or newer vehicle that's out of warranty or about to be, Endurance is urgently notifying U.S. drivers about their low-cost vehicle coverage plan designed to save drivers thousands on rising vehicle repair costs. Those who qualify can pick their plan, coverage, and repair shop. Roadside service, towing, and rental cars included. All covered repairs get paid directly to the repair shop for you. Call now for your free quote. Call 800-295-6576. 800-295-6576.
The rest.
WVON traffic and weather now.
New this break, we're monitoring the Bishop Ford right now on the outbound side. Apparently, there is an accident there. That accident is in the construction zone area there at 115th Street. We're seeing some delays right there at 115th, so you might want to avoid that if at all possible. Taking a look at our weather, cloudy and cold today, temperatures struggling through the 30s. We're headed toward a daytime high of only 43, still struggling at 33 at Midway, 33 in Bronzeville, and 33 here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm Anna Flournoy on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
And now back to the Cleopatra Show on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Hey, it's a celebration. Listen, we are, to celebrate another lap around the sun is nothing but the grace of God. As a mother of three, if you know anything about childbirth, and for those that know about it, Black women aren't getting up off the operating table. So for all the mothers that can hear me, I thank God for your lives, and I thank God for you. And we are talking about teen takeovers as I'm celebrating my birthday. Because as my producer and I were just talking, Sonia, she's looking at this from a lens of parenting, right? If you're going to be a parent, be a parent. And I'm saying, I think it's encumbersome. Of course, you should know where your children are and so on and so forth. And how don't you know? Now, there's times there's not a person that can say your mother and father knew where you were at all times. I'm sorry. It's just virtually impossible. But the expectation that you would not embarrass your family, the expectation that you would not be seen out there has that checked out, right? I was just telling Sonia, I said, fast forward the tape 10 years from now or 11 years from now. Come on, Spencer, come get this boy. And you know who I'm talking about Leak. Because by the time I'm done, when you're going to come have to bury this child, that's how, if this is my child, and if I caught him physically, he would learn right then and there his mother was a track star. Okay. And this is 11 years from now. But again, expectation. And it just couldn't be my child. But somebody is saying that while looking at their child on the videotape. What would possess you to do this? And if you all remember a couple weeks ago, I played a number of clips of sayings your mama would say. If your friends told you to jump off a cliff, would you? Or if your friends say, hey, let's take this bus and go downtown. A child in my church lost his life 2 months ago, I believe, right there in front of the Chicago theater. Lost his life. So these consequences are life and death matters. But it is also being to push the needle for legislation to be moved and policies to be shaped of how they treat our children. And particularly, I am leaning on the fact that there's a overwhelming presence of Black children. I am saying the thing out loud. What do you say and how do you feel? 773-591-1690. Now, I can go on and on of the barriers and the parameters of how we got here and what is going on in our communities, and that the least of these that have nots. But does it still justify the behavior? And I am saying no, absolutely not. But how do we continue to be here, and what is really going on, and who are these children? I'm going to talk to Melissa. Melissa, please talk to me. Welcome to WVON.
Oh my God, thank you so much and happy birthday to you.
Oh, thank you so much.
So I wrote down several points and I'm going to try to get through them quickly. I am a South Sider all my life. Okay, so I want to begin with that. I live in the 9th Ward. I am also Generation X. Okay, so I just to set some parameters. And I'm an educator. So the first problem is, I will agree with Perry Small that some of them, and I want to use the word some, are being raised by wolves, are not being raised at all. What I see is a total lack of parenting, a lack of self-worth, a lack of self-values. You don't think you deserve any better. That's what I see. And as a Black mother, it breaks my heart. But the flip side of this, all of our children are not that way. And so all of our children are being, in my opinion, are being judged by the actions of a few. Yes, we can go back to what's going on. Let's say with the 9th Ward since Anthony Beale signed. There's a big difference between Rose Moore and Rose Lynn and the Argyle Garden. Let's just stay right here. So where do they have to go to socialize? Where do they have to go to just be teenagers? I'm not talking about the summer jobs. Summer jobs are in the morning. When I was 16, 17, and 18, we went downtown. We went to I can't think of the name of the places now. We went over to Rush Street. We went to Ronnie's Steakhouse. We hung out, and that's what we did. Now, there's no justification for the violence. But what I'm also seeing is that you want to raise the bridge, that they need to stay in their corner where they're at, and they should never come to where other children are walking around in groups. Now, I don't even want to just say Lollapalooza. Let's just say in the summertime, when there's a group of white kids walking around, nobody says anything. But if there's a group of Black kids walking around, we automatically assume that they're doing something wrong. We are not a monolith. All of our children are not the same. As my child comes home from spring break tomorrow, she should be able to go downtown and be with her friends without being judged. The flip side is, there is another side. These kids who are out of control, and I'm going to use the word out of control. I know it's not politically correct. Something has to be done. I know we need resources. I understand that. But what they're doing is unacceptable. But I don't think that the whole group should be banned. Mayor Brandon Johnson is trying to look at what's going on. That alderman that's down there, I agree with the gentleman that called earlier. He's a racist. He don't want us down there at all. He just.
Well, I thank you. I'm up against a heartbreak. She laid out a lot, and I'm going to respond to a lot of it because the 9th Ward is also my home, and I think each ward has a reflection of the have and the have-nots. And overarching the city, there's a stark difference between the quality of life north to south and east to west. And yet these children are seeking some support and attention in a unique way that is questioning what is going on. I'm asking you to give me a call, 773-591-1690. We will continue the conversation of the teen takeovers and what is happening in our city when we return.
Cloudy and cooler on this Friday, March 27th, 2026. I'm in Flournoy. Into the headlines. Well wishes go out to Reverend James Meeks, who, according to a press release, is now recovering from a rare but treatable spinal infection. Well, we're learning more about that so-called teen takeover in downtown Chicago Wednesday night. Apparently 8 teens were arrested and 1 was taken away on a stretcher. And Vaughn TV kicks off its new season at 7 tonight with the opening feature, Say Her Name, The Life and Death of Sandra Bland. National news from the Black Information Network is next on the Voice of a Nation and the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM, WVON, Berwyn, Chicago. It's 10:01.
Here's VIN News Now.
The NBA is officially exploring expansion to Las Vegas and Seattle. Commissioner Adam Silver says the league has hired an investment firm to evaluate ownership groups and arena plans.
I think they're Seattle and Las Vegas in terms of their history and support of NBA basketball are unique in terms of available markets in the U.S. right now.
Both cities have strong basketball histories, including Seattle's former Supersonics. Millions are expected at this weekend's nationwide No Kings protests against the Trump administration, with rallies in over 3,000 cities. It's the first major demonstration since federal agents fatally shot 2 Americans in Minneapolis. And Tina Turner's legacy is entering a new chapter. Swedish company Pop House has acquired her name, image, likeness, and most of her music catalog, planning immersive projects to honor her iconic stage presence. Get BIN News now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app. Now back to Terry McCready.
Senate Democrats voting yesterday to block a House-passed bill to reopen the Department of Homeland Security. Now President Trump is declaring a national emergency, issuing an executive order to pay TSA workers. TSA Deputy Administrator Hanwin McNeil detailing life this week for employees during the shutdown.
Some are sleeping in their cars, selling their blood and plasma, and taking on second jobs to make ends meet.
The motion to advance the bill failed by a vote of 53-47. It needed 60 votes to advance. It's the 7th time since DHS funding lapsed last month that Democrats voted against the measure. Senate Majority Leader John Thune keeping the vote open for hours to give Republican and Democratic negotiators time to hammer out the details of a deal to sever ICE emergency removal operations from appropriations for the remainder of DHS. A coalition of top Senate Democrats are leading their colleagues in condemnation of a proposed rule by the Trump administration that would lift restrictions on the number of non-standardized plans that insurers in the Affordable Care Act marketplace can offer, while pushing high deductible plans meant for worst case scenarios. Roughly 15% of ACA enrollees are Black. Last month, the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services submitted a proposed rule for the benefit and payment parameters for plans. In 2027, this proposal calls for ending requirements that ACA health plan insurers offer standardized plan options. In its proposal, CMS said the rule change would reduce issuer and HHS burden and regulatory complexity and enhance flexibility for issuers to innovate in plan design. States could also replace their state-based exchanges with what the administration calls state exchange enhanced direct enrollment. Deposed Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro in court in New York yesterday, where he learned that his case is not being dismissed. There were dueling protests by Venezuelans outside the courthouse.
What's best for Venezuela is for Nicolas Maduro to face justice. Since Nicolas Maduro has been kidnapped,
A federal judge refusing to drop narco trafficking charges against Maduro. He was nabbed in January during a U.S. military raid on his compound in Caracas, along with his wife Celia Flores, both pleading not guilty. Maduro's lawyer said he cannot continue to represent him unless sanctions are lifted, denying Maduro access to Venezuelan government money. The judge said he'll rule on that later. France is hosting the G7 Leaders Summit in June, but South Africa says it has been disinvited from the gathering. A spokesperson for President Cyril Ramaphosa said Paris was forced to withdraw its invitation under sustained U.S. pressure. French President Emmanuel Macron personally invited Ramaphosa back in November during the G20 summit in South Africa, but relations with the U.S. have deteriorated dramatically since Trump's second term. He's made unsubstantiated claims of white genocide, boycotted the Johannesburg summit, and rejected the country's Black economic empowerment policies. Stay informed, stay connected, and subscribe. Follow VIN News this hour wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Terry McCready for the Black Information Network.
I know you're gonna dig this.
That whole picture was AI.
Yeah, the whole picture was AI.
First of all,
I'm
I'm gonna tell you, Usher whooped Justin Bieber's ass. I'm telling you right now.
Real or
I
not,
know.
it's trending.
He grabbed Usher because he's allegedly said before, right?
Yeah.
He grabbed Usher like he thought he was one.
Yes, he did.
He sure did.
These are my confessions. I don't know.
He sure did.
But
They
that's
say it's
true.
AI.
I guess so.
Yeah, that's AI. Because it looked like AI grabbed ATL.
It's the DL Hughley Show.
Catch Reverend Al Sharpton online at WVON.com or on the WVON app. Just click the Al Sharpton banner. Tune in every day at 12 noon for your daily dose. And if you miss it, catch the overnight replay from midnight to 3 a.m. We're keeping it real with Al Sharpton on WVON 1690.
Reverend Al told you personally, keep it real. Keep it real. Keep it real.
Hey, Alexa, Play WVON 1690 AM.
Getting WVON 1690 AM station from iHeartRadio.
Try it out for yourself. America is listening to WVON.
Greetings, WVON family. It's your brother and friend, Bomani Obadeli of the Activist Hour. Join me on Saturday mornings as we discuss a holistic and public health approach to addressing community violence. We will also be discussing ways that we can create a safe, peaceful, economically thriving, and healthy communities. Join me Saturday mornings, 8 a.m. on WVON for the Activist Hour.
This report is brought to you by Lowe's. You want Black Friday prices without the crowds? Lowe's gets it, and $99 is all you need to grab your favorite select pre-lit artificial Christmas tree for the holiday season. Selection varies by location, while supplies last.
Happy Women's History Month from the station that celebrates Black Girl Magic, WVON.
This girl is on fire.
Live from the Xfinity Studios at WVON, it's the Cleopatra Show on Chicago's essential storyteller, 1690 WVON.
Scene gathered in the loop. You can also see Chicago police officers on scene, many of them on bikes. This group also didn't just stay in one place. They actually moved around through the loop all night. At one point, video also showed emergency vehicles near this group, but it's unclear whether that was related to this gathering. It's also unclear at this point who was a part of this gathering, including their names and ages. Now, we did speak with Justin Peters with Chi-Town Crime Chasers, who says he saw this all happen. Listen.
Well, we got about 200-300 kids just running back and forth, jumping on cars, just fighting, taunting the police. And it got pretty bad to the point me and my team actually witnessed a little boy actually getting stumped out unconscious, and I had to render aid to him. We had to call an ambulance for this boy. It's frustrating. This is something, an occurrence that's been happening quite a lot for lately. This is the third month of the year, and we done had several teen takeovers, especially in the downtown area.
And we are back. You're listening to the Cleopatra Show. The time is 10:09, and we're having the discussion. Teen takeovers. Now, I don't particularly like the labeling. If I was a teen, I'm going back to my student council days. Don't put me in no cesspool with these crazy people. But I guess categorically, if we're going to define an age, they're young, right? So identifiably, unfortunately. And to Melissa's point, ultimately, the few are overshadowing the many. And she said something. She talked about our ward. She lives in the 9th Ward too. And there is a stark difference between the said communities, Rosemore, Roseland, and then you can look at Allgale or the further south of the region. And the difference is investment, economics, education level, age, single family households. I can go through 9th Ward like the back of my hand, but the point is, one thing she identified, which is absolutely true, is where do the youth hang out at? Nowhere. We have nothing for real. One would say, you got that new Pullman Center. I mean, you mean a Pullman Center that got the bar in it that's fully stocked? You tell me where youth hang out around alcohol. Well, they can't buy alcohol. The fact that it's present in a ward that should have been dry, that was designated dry. That is what we have for our youth. That's what you give Black youth. That's the leadership there, right? Wouldn't be my child in there. I don't care what AAU team, whatever you got in there. If I wanted my baby to be around a bar, it's so much other opportunity, but that's what we have. So when I think back to my upbringing and my time spent with my brother and I at the Boys and Girls Club and things like that, where do youth hang out at? I'm still trying to think of where do millennials hang out at? That's a big problem. We're not far removed. If we do, we have to come up and be around said groups and spend our money where if you ain't following me throughout the store, you side-eyeing me the whole time, defining whether or not I can pay for the check, right? That's a problem. And this is what I think on the other side of the argument, the mayor is constantly pointing at to divestment. I want to acknowledge and thank you, Mr. Edwards, who just sent me some birthday love. I want to acknowledge Roseland and our Roseland business leaders. So I could think of Edwards Fashion. I could think of my time with Mr. Scott, who just did my taxes, Scott Enterprise. Shout out to them. Mr. Scott tells me the story. I said, one day we stepped outside his office there. I said, Mr. Scott, what was here? And he looked at me. He said, girl, you don't know? I said, no. There was a bowling alley, skating rink. And he started to point down all Michigan Avenue what it was. And Mr. Edwards does the same. Mr. B, old fashioned donut, tell me the same. It was so much opportunity of things to do, both family, otherwise said age groups throughout Roseland at a time. When that clip that I played in 1974, it was so much to do. Now it's nothing. You drive down Michigan Avenue, it is just a sea of emptiness at what used to be. And when people start their sentence to me, well, we used to do it like this. Used to be don't make no honey. That's exactly how my brain is wired. So you stuck nostalgically at a time. But we're not in no used to be era. We are right here, right now. And right here, right now, to Melissa's point, there is nowhere for young people in our region. Let's just look at the far south region and that area to thrive and be. That is a part of the problem, undeniably, right? And if they have to go over to Auburn Gresham and cross into these territories, that is a problem because in their community where they live, there's nothingness. That's problematic. And then when you look at their schools that are not met with equity, that's problematic. If you look at their housing situation, their community, that's problematic. Fresh produce, the lack thereof, a quality of life. Okay. So undeniably, all of these things, plus the people that created them, is a part of all of this. So to build a policy that restricts and punishes them because of this is also interesting and tantamount to how they are rebuking it. I'm going back to the phone lines. I got one line open. Let's see. And I am going to talk to Chris. Chris, talk to me. Welcome to WVON.
Morning, Cleopatra. Good morning. How you doing?
I am in good spirits. Good morning.
Awesome. Happy birthday to you.
I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, well, there's a couple of things on my mind, and I agree 100% with what you're saying in the investment of our communities. And I think that's something that we should begin to really focus on more and expect from our aldermen to do, put in more activities for our young people. I'm also an educator as well, and I do realize that you do have parents who do neglect their kids and who are in denial and who just blatantly don't want to do for their kids and just let their kids just roam wherever they want. But I don't think that reflects most of our young people. So I really get offended when I hear this term, as you said, team takeover, and they target our young people. I think if you have young people who do these outrageous things, just just arrest them and charge their parents. I don't think there should be like a blanket curfew. And lastly, I have. And I grew up in a predominantly white high school and a predominantly white college. And I saw how white people treat each other and how they act. So I don't care what a white person says about us, because they are outrageously. Their behavior is outrageous. They do a lot of things that to their women. They do a lot of things to each other. They do a lot of things. They abuse a lot of drugs that we don't even know about.
Correct.
And they want to accuse us of doing things. So I don't care what they think about me. As a matter of fact, when I see them coming down the street, I'm afraid of them. But,
hey, you said a thing, and shout out to that, like, and good call. Listen, he said a thing. There is no media that is trolling them. I remember when Say and I we were gonna do. There was a teen takeover over the whites in the west suburbs where they were doing drugs and kicking it at the pools, being belligerent, all of this stuff, and there was about 100 of them. There was no media coverage. I promise you. And for those that remember something about it, drop it in the chat. Give me a call. Bottom line is, when they see us, right? I'm saying the fact that their legislators, including mine, my alderman, Anthony Beal, is on the side of, hey, I'm with that policy of putting up them fences and the punitive aspect of it. And I'm acknowledging the fact when you look at your own backyard. See, the white alders, if they feel that way, they're not taking away from their children because their community have all the resources. But when our alders or our leaders step up and join forces to support it, and I'm looking at the video, and the vast majority of these teens are Black who live in these communities that are deprived, and you support it, what are you saying? I'm gonna say the quiet parts out loud. You don't have to say a damn thing. See, policy tells me how you feel. Your budget is your moral compass. How you spend your money, how you value me, what you pay me tells me how you feel, right? How you have me living. If you can change the weather, why you got it so cold in here? Now, I'm coming back to the phone lines. Mama D, Andre, Frank, Albert, Andre, Daryl, I want you all to hold tight. When we come back, we're going to continue this conversation because it is a multitude of ways to look at it. And you heard the brother. He feel like I feel. I feel offended for the vast majority of the youth. And if I was to dial back, I ain't going to say how old I am, but X amount of years ago when I was in student council, you couldn't have put me in a cluster with all of these hellions. That ain't the case. But see, we allow them to bastardize our children. You heard my mayor. He said demonize. And the vast majority ain't on that, right? And the ones that are, I promise you, there are some stories to be told of the hell that they're going through. It's very rare. I guarantee you, out of the 10 they catch, one of them is not from a broken home. And then the one that came, I think the mind is weak and like sheep, they flocked. And that is where you begin to beg the question, how you get here. But those that are leading the charge, how can I change the weather for you? And some of them we have lost. How do we recapture them? Who is abusing you? Because to neglect your child is child abuse. Think about it, y'all. We'll be back.
More from Cleopatra coming up next on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Trial in the Delta, the murder of Emmett Till, just extended until March 29th at Collaboration Theater. Step inside the courtroom and witness Mamie Till Mobley, a mother angry and bold enough to let the world see the brutality inflicted on her 14-year-old son. Her courage ignited a movement. Trial in the Delta, the murder of Emmett Till, now running until March 29th. Get tickets now. Call 312-226-9633. That's 312-226-9633. Or visit collaboration.org.
Have you checked out WVON's digital streaming network, Bond TV? It's everywhere on Roku, Apple TV Plus, Amazon Fire, on the WVON app, and at VON.TV. Bond TV, it's cultural content on purpose.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com.
If you have a 2004 or newer vehicle that's out of warranty or about to be, Endurance is urgently notifying U.S. drivers about their low-cost vehicle coverage plan designed to save drivers thousands on rising vehicle repair costs. Those who qualify can pick their plan, coverage, and repair shop. Roadside service, towing, and rental car is included. All covered repairs get paid directly to the repair shop for you. Call now for your free quote. Call 800-295-6576. 800-295-6576.
Protect your money and build your wealth. Sundays at 3 p.m., host and owners of Top and Top Insurance Agency, Clydell and Betty Top, teach you about protecting your assets, 401ks, annuities, life after retirement, the differences and benefits of life insurance, and they take questions. Their advice can enhance your financial future and your legacy. Call for a free WVON financial consultation, 773-881-8110. Tune in Sundays at 3 p.m. to protect your money and build your wealth. Powered by Top and Top Insurance Agency.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Nice and quiet on the roadways right now as you make your way along the Ryan, the Bishop Ford, and Tuskegee Airmen Memorial. You'll move along at the posted speed each way. DuSable Lakeshore Drive, light traffic there. The Stevenson from I-355 to DuSable Drive, just a 25-minute trip, 25 traveling out as well. The Eisenhower 35, though, in from Thorndale to the Burns Circle, 30 on the outbound trip. And the Kennedy, not too bad. A 30-minute trip in from O'Hare to downtown, still just about 20 to the airport. Cloudy and colder today. Right now, temperatures are hovering in the mid-30s. We're looking at 34 at Midway, 34 in Country Club Hills, and 34 degrees here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm NF Lenoy on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
And now back to the Cleopatra Show on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
And we are back on the Cleopatra Show. And listen, guys, this is a reminder. Tonight is the night. I want you all to say her name. The Life and Death of Sandra Bland, premiering on Vaughn TV Friday night. Tonight is that night at 7 p.m. It kicks off Vaughn TV's Friday night of premieres, where for the next 4 weeks, you can watch groundbreaking independent films and documentaries. Vaughn TV is WVON's digital streaming platform, and you can check us out on Roku, Apple TV Plus, Amazon Fire, WVON's app, or at Vaughn.tv. I want you all to take a look-see. Join with your family, educate your children, and enlighten your community, your organizations, churches, and affiliations. This is important that we raise the vibration of an ancestor that has gone too soon. All right, we're having a conversation about teen takeovers, and I am saying the quiet parts out loud. I was going to get all dolled up, and I took the time to watch a series of the videos. You heard a clip from Chicago Crime Stoppers, and the vast majority that I saw, Cleopatra Draper, they were black. They were black youth. And that's been the case for a while, okay? And one thing about child abuse, I must say, it has a multitude of looks. And as a former educator, if your child comes to school with dirty clothes, is that child abuse? Hair matted, hadn't been washed, teeth not clean, face crusty. It's wintertime, wearing ankle socks and some J's on, too little jacket, or not a thick enough coat, no hat, no gloves, always hungry. Always there, the first one there, last one to stay. Illiterate. Evidence of some physical abuse. What does child abuse look like? So when you see these young people, do you see child abuse? the absence of the moral consciousness to not twerk on top of cars, not jump and beat each other silly, not antagonize the police, not attack random people in the street. They've done that before too. Who is they? This group, right? This group that has called themselves to act a certain kind of way. So child abuse is the failure to act by a caregiver that causes harm, potential harm, or threat to harm to a child under the age of 18. It includes physical, emotional, sexual abuse, neglect, exploitation, which damages a child's health, survival, and development or dignity. I just wanted to put that out there because I'm going to talk to a number of you all. I do have one more line that's open, but I am raising the vibrations as we discuss the teen takeovers and a multitude of ways to skin this cat. Let's talk to Mama D. Mama D, talk to me. Welcome to WVON.
Well, God rising. Happy birthday. Your mother does the birthing, the labor, and the work, so the baby who has been alive for 9 months can be born on the earth. It is her birthday and the day you were born on the earth. Happy Earth Day birthday celebrates both the mother and the child and gives God the glory for creating them. 3 solutions to teen takeovers. Number 1, it's 10:30. Do you know where your child is? Announcements, bring that back. Number 2, youngsters are not seeking a job. They are seeking fun and attention. Take the fun out. Don't reward bad behavior. During the Democratic National Convention, they had iron blockades that covered the entire street. Don't lock the youngsters out. Lock them in. Get their names and the names of their parents and give their parents a ticket, a $500 ticket for the first offense. Have a payment plan. Use the money to help struggling youngsters. Number 3, love children into shape. Bring back Children's Day. The reason for having a Mother's Day and a Father's Day is a Children's Day. Show our children. Don't talk about it. Show them that they are loved and the most precious entity on the planet Earth. Love them into shape. What do you think?
I think that was beautiful. In fact, I'm going to make sure that the policy leaders that I know, both county, state, and federal and city, hear what you had to say. Thank you so much for that. Listen, guys, I always am very braggadocious in this moment. I have the most astute listening audience in the world, and I will carry on some of these high points when we return. Andre, Frank, Albert, Daryl, Andre Smith. I'll definitely take your calls and more. And we're talking about teen takeovers. And give me the why. What would you do differently? What is going on? And why are we back here in this moment? We'll be back after this break.
Cloudy and cold with temperatures in the 30s. Good morning. I'm Annette Flournoy, and here's what's happening. We're learning more about that so-called teen takeover in downtown Chicago Wednesday night. Perry Williams has more on the number of young people arrested and the one placed on a stretcher.
Hundreds of youngsters filled the loop Wednesday night. 8 teens were arrested and one was taken away in a stretcher. Alderman Brian Hopkins says he was there when police imposed the current 10 p.m. curfew.
Once the teens saw the police moving in and once they realized curfew was going to be enforced, they decided on their own to end the teen trend at that point. Curfew works. There's no question about it.
There were also 24 curfew violations issued. I'm Perry Williams.
This is the first time this year Chicago police have had to deal with a mass gathering of teens downtown. There are renewed calls for the city council to pass a revised curfew ordinance that would allow police to impose them earlier than 10 p.m. if need be. Mayor Johnson vetoed a previous version last summer and is on the record saying that the current curfew works. Vaughn TV kicks off its new season tonight with the opening feature, Say Her Name, The Life and Death of Sandra Bland. Tracy Scruggs Bond's executive director says this film goes beyond the headlines and asks questions that still have not been answered.
That's one of the reasons why we decided, this is going to be a perfect film for us to start the series, remembering, who we are, our culture, and folks who were fighting and standing up for us. A lot of people may not know that, Sandy had a blog. I mean, she was conscious and fighting for the rights of, Black Lives Matter before, the headlines.
Nearly 11 years ago, the 28-year-old was pulled over on the outskirts of Houston for failing to signal a lane change. Then 3 days later, she was found dead in a jail cell. Say Her Name, The Life and Death of Sandra Bland, opens 7 p.m. tonight on Vaughn TV. Well, breaking overnight, TSA agents are closer to getting paid. In a rare overnight session, lawmakers passed a bill that would fund most of the Department of Homeland Security in a bid to end a partial government shutdown. The deal was struck after President Trump said yesterday that he would pay TSA workers at the nation's airports with or without the help of Congress. The measure would provide funding for DHS agencies except ICE and Border Patrol. It now goes to the House. And the third No Kings protest against the Trump administration kicks off this weekend. Millions are expected to take over the streets of cities across the nation, including New York, Chicago, LA, and DC. It's the first No Kings protest to be held since the fatal shooting of 2 Americans by federal agents in Minneapolis, as well as since the start of the war in Iran. That's a look at our news now on 1690 WVON. Traffic and weather up next. WVON News Time, 10:33.
Financial freedom starts with access. Fifth Third Bank is breaking down barriers to banking with tools and programs that help you build credit, save, and grow. Our mission is simple: empower every Chicagoan to move forward, because economic mobility means opportunity. This is banking a Fifth Third better. Visit 53.com to learn more. That's 53.com. Fifth Third Bank, National Association, member FDIC.
Chicago and Daniel Burnham once said, make no small plans. So the Obamas didn't. The Obama Presidential Center opening Juneteenth weekend. Chicago is more than history. It's Black history. We're WVON.
Tuned in to your favorite WVON personalities on Facebook Live? Don't just watch, like it, love it, share it. Every click helps us grow the conversation and keep the community strong. So remember, like it, love it, share it, Chicago.
It's Rufus Williams.
This is not the America that we thought it was. Certainly not now. And whatever pushing has to go to reverse that, I'm sure that Keith Ellison and the others there in Minneapolis are doing it, because anything that's happening anywhere can happen right here to us. And there's no reason to believe in any way, shape, or form that you can be separated from it.
Weekdays at 7 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
This is your host and life coach, Linnell Harris, and I want you to join me every Sunday morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. for Inspirational Perspective. On Inspirational Perspective, we talk life vision, life purpose, and the show is all about helping you live the best life possible. So join me as we look at supporting you in living the life you intend to live and making your life's vision a reality. Every Sunday morning at 7 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 a.m. WVON.
This report is brought to you by Lowe's. You want Black Friday prices without the crowds? Lowe's gets it, and $99 is all you need to grab your favorite select pre-lit artificial Christmas tree for the holiday season. Selection varies by location, while supplies last.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Wherever you're headed, you should make it on time. We're looking at light traffic across the board. The inbound side of the Ryan looks good. You'll move along at the posted speed traveling out. Both the Bishop Ford and Tuskegee Airmen Memorial are looking good. Moving well along DuSable Lakeshore Drive as well. And you're pretty much close to the speed limit as you make your way along the Stevenson, Eisenhower, and Kennedy each way. Taking a look at our weather, overcast conditions and cold today. Temperatures struggling through the 30s. The National Weather Service says we're expected to make it to a daytime high of around 43. Tonight, temps are expected to dip back down to around 28. Holding on at 35 at Midway is 35 in Midlothian and 35 degrees here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm Anna Flournoy on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
And now back to the Cleopatra Show on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
And we are back. The time is 10:37. And yeah, I am going to celebrate tonight. I thank God for my mother. Shout out to the real MVP. You heard Mama D. Mama D told me that lesson last year. But one thing about my mother, I have been telling my mother happy birthday since, I don't know, I was old enough to understand. Okay. I might say 18, 19. And I look forward to that. So happy birthday to my mother, who birthed and loved me first. And I look forward to celebrating. Now I'm a kid with her tomorrow. I ain't gonna even lie. But tonight she'll get to hang out with her grandsons. And I just thank God for her being the real MVP. Everybody shows me a lot of love and a lot of grace for being able to be in a multitude of ways. But I give not only tribute to my mother, but my husband. I have a village that helps to create this brand, this woman that you see, and all of me. And it takes that, right? So when I see these young folks, these youngsters, if you will, it takes a village. Who is a part of their village? Who's raising them? And it cannot all be where their mom at, right? Or where their dad. Working families are under attack in the world, whether it's from the federal government to right here in Illinois, from the highest property taxes to the lowest performing school system, right? Across the spectrum, not met with equity. Maybe the school system could perform if black schools were on par with white schools, but that's another argument for another day. Our communities are not of equity either. If you don't have the money, you can't live in said community and have the resources. And ergo, black people, black children will suffer. Is that why we see so many of them say, hey, at least for this moment, I'm going to go wow out, if you will, and go downtown. I'm going back to the phone lines. Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna take one more call, but I know we have a special guest. Sonia was just keeping me on track. But I see the lines are so lit, and I want you all to hang out with us because it is still in the same vein as we've built up the momentum to have the discussion with our guests. Let's talk to Andre. Andre, thank you so much for your patience.
Hello, Miss Cleopatra. On this special day, I'd like to say, a balanced meal is no good without a balanced life. And I'd like to say to the favorite millennial, happy birthday to you. And I hope your day is filled with peace, love, and happiness.
Thank you.
I want to say about the kids. Although racism exists, we can't always look at everything through the lens of racism. If we do, we won't know how to properly correct our children. As our parents used to say, I don't care what the other kids do, you bet not do it. Don't be a follower, be a leader. When it comes to behavior, if they have resources, it's not going to stop them from receiving a text message or a Facebook post that's telling them we all going to meet downtown and we're going to converge on the city and do something. So this is my solution. I went to a birthday party over the weekend that my son threw for my granddaughter for her 10th birthday at the skating rink, and there was police everywhere. So my solution is this here. All of the local park districts spend some money to put a fence around them parks, extend the park hours to 11 p.m., and station police there. There was police everywhere at the skating rink. So you got police that you can post and then put fences up where they can have the entrance and the exit and have police there. So the next thing, go out to these corporations and try to get some money to open a drive-in on the north side and the south side of Chicago, fence it in, again, have 2 entrances, 2 exits, and also have a police station there. Because when you do that, then you're going to have less of a convergence on downtown Chicago. I went downtown Chicago, but see, we talking about a time when you could stay at the park all night and you could stay at the beach all night. We can't do that now because it's unsafe. But I believe that if my suggestions was taken seriously, that you will see a reduction in crime and you'll see a reduction in the conversions down there. If you can send 100 police down there to conversion, then why can't them police be stationed at these local parks, have the fences up and extend the park hours to 11 o'clock for the kids so they have some place to be and coexist with their peers? That's one solution to it. So, if we got money for this other thing, Ms. Cleopatra, I think we can do that. Thank you for the time. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. And he's pointing to it like, where do you drive these children to, right? Like even with me, with my young ones, right? I'm looking for resources and opportunities. We do exploration Saturdays. I do a lot of things with my babies, but they're babies. I am identifiably saying, where do young folks hang out at? And the answer is not a lot of places. And like you said, when he was there, he was met with police. Is that encouraging or discouraging? Do you feel safe when you see them blue lights? And it depends. Oftentimes it is a deterrent for me to not want to be in a facility that has to have that magnitude of coverage. I'm trying to get up out of there. In my mind, I think something has happened. I don't feel safe. I'm just being honest from my standpoint. I'm going to take one more call before I go to our guests. Let's talk to Albert. Albert, talk to me. Welcome to WVON.
Good morning. Good morning. Happy birthday.
Thank you so
Ms.
much.
Cleopatra. Yes, I had just a couple of questions that I think may try to help us guide our children in the right direction. Like there's Google on phones. They could Google on how to, be an attorney or, try to advance their lives, not just keep doing what we see them do. Like I go to the library and we're never there. It's free. It's multitude of occupations and things to do and things to learn there.
Are you talking about for young people?
For young people, yes, ma'am.
So, and I don't mean to laugh because I am upset that they took out the library pass and now it's digitized because that was a reason to force people to go to the library. But one thing about the library, young people, now you go out in Allgale, them young folks is in there. It depends because I bounce around to a number of libraries too, but I'm a nerd like that. But if you do talk to young people, and I asked them this too, they'll say it's dead. And there are times where there are different libraries that are, right? It's not as interactive. Like the one at Harold Washington, they have a multimedia center. So young people like to do technological things and cameras and videos and all of that cool stuff. So only a few handfuls have them. And the rest of them are a little bit more archaic and not as engaging. So I have explored that avenue. And I think we need to step up our game. And the library team, they know that. But that is just one of many avenues. I'm not attacking it, but because I bounce around to them too, I ask young people all the time, and they say it's dead. And I can see that, to be fair. So, but
most of our ancestors come from the South to become prestigious leaders and preachers and educators and sole proprietors. This young teen age we're in now, I don't see any of that happening. You have to have a good understanding of what life is and what life could be. That's why a lot of our people ran from the South to be, quote unquote, to get a better life. It's just, I'm not seeing like who pays for all the damages that they're causing. Just say McDonald's. McDonald's have to fix all these windows, all these chairs, all these broken items and pop machines and stuff. They have to raise the price. Now the dollar pop gonna be $2.
Well,
I mean, it's no dollar pop, but I'm just saying it's.
No, I mean, and that's a good way to look at it. Good call, Albert. Albert raised up a point. Like, okay, he go in the library. Where are the young people? And I'm saying I do go in the library too, and I've asked the young people, and I can see what they're saying. It is dead. It is a dead atmosphere. And in fact, when I do go in the library, like say downtown, I met with the unhoused and unstable. It is attractive folk that are seeking a moment to catch some quiet peace or some heat or just to collect themselves. Is not a space where young people are congregating. No. And if it is, they're attracted to something there. So, but juxtapose what used to be in the Ninth Ward, but in the far south of the city, Allgale, I see young people. I don't see a bunch of them, but I do in the library, and they congregate there. But if you know anything about Allgale, besides the CYC building, where else they congregate? So I'm happy to see them there. So I think we need to drill down on this. Where are the bowling alleys? Where, there are some things that are missing. But here's one opportunity. I have the privilege to talk to a guest that has been so patient to hold with us. This weekend in Chicago, something powerful is happening. Young voices are stepping up, connecting, and shaping their future. The United African Organization is hosting Africa Youth Forum 2026, a space designed to inspire leadership, spark meaningful conversations, and begin communities organizing together at a time where parents and mentors are searching for positive ways to engage their children out of trouble, especially as summer approaches. So as we're talking about these teen takeovers, I thought I impart, and I want you all to still hold tight, an opportunity with UAO. They're hosting this forum, and it takes place tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 2 at Dawson Technical Institute. It is absolutely free, and this event will bring together young leaders across the Chicagoland area for meaningful conversations, networking, and leadership development. When we return, our guest is on the live line, and she's going to expound upon this, but I want you all to mull over on this. For these young folks you seeing or you have in your church or your organizations, your neighbors, direct them to the Dawson Technical Institute from 10 to 2. And when we return, our guest is going to give you many of reasons as to why they should be there.
More from Cleopatra coming up next on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Catch Reverend Al Sharpton online at WVON.com or on the WVON app. Just click the Al Sharpton banner. Tune in every day at 12 noon for your daily dose. And if you miss it, catch the overnight replay from midnight to 3 a.m. We're keeping it real with Al Sharpton on WVON 1690.
Reverend Al told you personally, keep it real. Keep it real. Keep it real.
Have you checked out WVON's digital streaming network, Bond TV? It's everywhere on Roku, Apple TV Plus, Amazon Fire, on the WVON app, and at VON.TV. Bond TV, it's cultural content on purpose.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com.
If you have a 2004 or newer vehicle that's out of warranty or about to be, Endurance is urgently notifying U.S. drivers about their low-cost vehicle coverage plan designed to save drivers thousands on rising vehicle repair costs. Those who qualify can pick their plan, coverage, and repair shop. Roadside service, towing, and rental cars included. All covered repairs get paid directly to the repair shop for you. Call now for your free quote. Call 800-295-6576. 800-295-6576.
The movement for repair is growing, from city halls to parliaments and around the world, from Chicago to Cape Town, from Evanston to the UN. I'm Robin Rousseau.
And I'm Cam Howard. Together we're bringing you Reparations Now, where we talk power, policy, and progress, local, national, and international.
It's about justice.
It's about repair. It's about time.
Reparations now, because justice cannot wait.
Reparations Now, Saturdays at 4 p.m. only on WVON 1690.
Down to 3, down to 2, down to 1.
Tune in Friday, 9 to midnight for The Fundamentals, where I, Titus T. Del Williams, bring the mental.
Thanks, Captain Obvious.
And I, DJ Turbine Arturo Garza, bring the fun.
Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
So if you want some wacky,
some good conversation,
but some fun,
and a little serious,
for all your sports needs, tune in to The Fundamentals.
Friday nights, 9 to midnight. We'll see you there.
You like that? You like that?
WVON traffic and weather now.
The roadways are in pretty good shape, but here's something new. Our State Street Bridge is finally reopened. Now, that bridge had been down for repairs for almost a year. Now traffic will go through State Street at Wacker Drive. Taking a look at our weather, cloudy and cold. Temperatures hovering in the low 30s. The National Weather Service says we're going to struggle to make it to 43 today. Currently, it's 35 at Midway, 35 in Auburn Gresham, and 35 degrees here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm Anna Flournoy on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
And now back to the Cleopatra Show on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
And we are back on the Cleopatra Show. The time is 10:52, and Fasika Ahim is going to join us. She's the program director with United African Organization, and they're here this weekend for our youth. There's an opportunity to engage our youth directly, and Fasika is going to hang out with me. Welcome to the Cleopatra Show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for being here. Your timing is impeccable. You must have heard we needed you all to pull up.
Yes.
So I just think this is so special. So enlighten our listening audience on the attributes and the why.
Yes. So this is an annual event. The African Youth Forum is an event that we host annually to bring together high school and college age youth of color, primarily from the African immigrant, African American, and other immigrant communities. It creates an opportunity for young people to dialogue around key issues in their communities, build understanding of each other's points of view, find common ground, and strengthen ties, right? So, this is an important component of how we build community, build resilient communities, and increase belonging in our community.
I think your timing is truly impeccable in terms of a opportunity of an outlet that is so needed. It is so needed, and I welcome it. And I want you to let our listening audience know, I know I gave out the details, Dawson Technical Institute from 10 to 2, but when they galvanize, what becomes of this? Because oftentimes we'll talk about symposiums or opportunities to engage our youth, but what are the next steps thereafter?
Yes, so this event is really part of, as you mentioned, as you indicate, a long-term strategy around youth development, right? And so it really highlights the importance of giving our young people an opportunity to envision the world that they want, or the world that they want to live in, to an opportunity to dialogue about what that is, and encourages them to become active participants in actually creating that world. And so it is an opportunity for young people to network and engage in activities that each other is doing, or other partners of ours might offer. So it's not intended to be a one-time event, but really a part of a process of having youth become, taking things just from conversation to active action.
No, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. So how long have you all been doing this work?
So the United African Organization has been formally in existence since 2005, and our youth forum has been a part of our work since very early on in our formation. And is really, we've been around for about 20 years now. Yes.
And then when you collect that information in terms of shaping the world and what the youth want to see, how do you integrate it here to America to clearly to Africa? What parts of Africa are you all either including or a part of? And then what is the intersectionality with the work here with Black children here in America?
Yes, so absolutely. Our organization provides direct services to Black immigrants within the state of Illinois. But these types of programming give us the opportunity to connect our communities with the broader community that we live in. So the Youth Forum is very much an opportunity to create connectedness with young people from diverse communities. We are part of the Southside community, but our community, is spread out across the city, but we are embedded within the Southside also with the intention to develop relationships with African American communities. So our invitation to these events is inclusive of the communities particularly on the South Side of the city. So please, we invite young people to join us to build together and learn about each other better.
No, I support it. I thank you so much for stopping by the show. I hope that folks get out, because it's not just exclusive to Black immigrants. This is open to the Black diaspora. Okay, so I want us to
Absolutely.
really understand the positioning, expose your children, redirect your children, open their eyes to an opportunity to be heard. And that place is at Dawson Technical Institute from 10 a.m. to 2, and they get to hang out with the United African Organization. Thank you so much, Fasika, for stopping by the Cleopatra Show.
We thank you so much for inviting us, and hope to see you too.
All right, well, take care. Listen, I have room for some more calls. I see Daryl and Susie. Susie, talk to me. Welcome to WVON.
Oh, this is actually Susan.
Oh, Susan.
How are you?
Forgive me.
Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you so much.
Mine was Monday.
Happy belated birthday.
Saturday? Yeah, we a merged birthday crew.
I'm trying to tell you, you got to march. My mother was teaching my son how to march from March to April. It's like, boy, if you don't put them legs down. But anyway, come on. Talk to me. What's on your mind?
Yeah, I got a lot of March babies in my family too. I did want to say real quick, I gotta say thank you to Brother Chris, because he said happy birthday to me yesterday, and I said I gotta make sure I acknowledge that. I appreciate that. But you know what? With what we're talking about with the kids, $500 is too much right off the bat for punishment. That's like just, I give up. You know what I'm saying? Before I even get started, 500 is like a mint, and I'm not even necessarily in a poor financial position, but it would knock me out the box if I had to pay $500 right off the bat. I think they need parenting classes. I think they don't know how to parent, because these kids are just so wild. It's like, how is it fun to beat up people and to destroy stuff? I don't get that. And I'm not saying that from a position of hierarchy, sitting up high and looking down low, but it's like, what got them to the point that that's their norm and that's their benchmark of okay? I guess, like you said, bowling alleys, places to hang out, those aren't there anymore like they used to be. But like I said, I think at least parenting classes so they can guide the kids, because the kids are just making it up as they go along.
You truly right. Excellent call,
Right.
Susan. I mean, it is something happening, and so we are drawing towards a point where we have to connect the dots. I'm up against a heartbreak. Thank you so much, Susan. I know you had a great birthday. When we return, Daryl, I see you on the live line. It is Funny Clip Fridays. I have some more messages for you on the other side of this break. You don't want to miss it.
Cloudy and 35 degrees on this Friday, March 27th, 2026. I'm Annette Flournoy, and in the headlines, well wishes go out to Reverend James Meeks, who, according to a press release, is now recovering from a rare but treatable spinal infection. TSA agents are now closer to finally getting a check. A spending package that would fund most of the Department of Homeland Security is now in the hands of the House after being approved overnight by the Senate. And Von TV kicks off its new season at 7 tonight with the opening feature, Say Her Name, The Life and Death of Sandra Bland. National news from the Black Information Network is next on the Voice of a Nation and the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM, WVON, Berwyn, Chicago. It's 11:01.
Here's VIN News. news now. The NBA is officially exploring expansion to Las Vegas and Seattle. Commissioner Adam Silver says the league has hired an investment firm to evaluate ownership groups and arena plans.
I think they're Seattle and Las Vegas in terms of their history and support of NBA basketball are unique in terms of available markets in the U.S. right now.
Both cities have strong basketball histories, including Seattle's former Supersonics. Millions are expected at this weekend's nationwide No Kings protests against the Trump administration, with rallies in over 3,000 cities. It's the first major demonstration since federal agents fatally shot 2 Americans in Minneapolis. And Tina Turner's legacy is entering a new chapter. Swedish company Pop House has acquired her name, image, likeness, and most of her music catalog, planning immersive projects to honor her iconic stage presence. Get BIN News now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app. Now back to Terry McCready.
Senate Democrats voting yesterday to block a House-passed bill to reopen the Department of Homeland Security. Now President Trump is declaring a national emergency, issuing an executive order to pay TSA workers. TSA Deputy Administrator Hanwin McNeil detailing life this week for employees during the shutdown.
Some are sleeping in their cars, selling their blood and plasma, and taking on second jobs to make ends meet.
The motion to advance the bill failed by a vote of 53-47. It needed 60 votes to advance. It's the 7th time since DHS funding lapsed last month that Democrats voted against the measure. Senate Majority Leader John Thune keeping the vote open for hours to give Republican and Democratic negotiators time to hammer out the details of a deal to sever ICE emergency removal operations from appropriations for the remainder of DHS. A coalition of top Senate Democrats are leading their colleagues in condemnation of a proposed rule by the Trump administration that would lift restrictions on the number of non-standardized plans that insurers in the Affordable Care Act marketplace can offer, while pushing high deductible plans meant for worst case scenarios. Roughly 15% of ACA enrollees are Black. Last month, the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services submitted a proposed rule for the benefit and payment parameters for plans in 2027. This proposal calls for ending requirements that ACA health plan insurers offer standardized plan options. In its proposal, CMS said the rule change would reduce issuer and HHS burden and regulatory complexity and enhance flexibility for issuers to innovate in plan design. States could also replace their state-based exchanges with what the administration calls state exchange enhanced direct enrollment. Deposed Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro in court in New York yesterday, where he learned that his case is not being dismissed. There were dueling protests by Venezuelans outside the courthouse.
What's best for Venezuela is for Nicolas Maduro to face justice.
Since Nicolas Maduro has been kidnapped,
A federal judge refusing to drop narco trafficking charges against Maduro. He was nabbed in January during a U.S. military raid on his compound in Caracas, along with his wife Celia Flores, both pleading not guilty. Maduro's lawyer said he cannot continue to represent him unless sanctions are lifted, denying Maduro access to Venezuelan government money. The judge said he'll rule on that later. France is hosting the G7 Leaders Summit in June, but South Africa says it has been disinvited from the gathering. A spokesperson for President Cyril Ramaphosa said Paris was forced to withdraw its invitation under sustained U.S. pressure. French President Emmanuel Macron personally invited Ramaphosa back in November during the G20 summit in South Africa, but relations with the U.S. have deteriorated dramatically since Trump's second term. He's made unsubstantiated claims of white genocide, boycotted the Johannesburg summit, and rejected the country's Black economic empowerment policies. Stay informed, stay connected, and subscribe. Follow VIN News this hour wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Terry McCready for the Black Information Network.
It's D.L. Hughley.
The reason that the armed forces under Pete Hegseth didn't want people to go to the Ivy League school, what do you got to be educated for to catch a bullet? This country will make you mandatory for you to sign up for war, but they will not do the same thing to make you vote.
Weekdays at 5 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Have you checked out WVON's digital streaming network, Bond TV? It's everywhere on Roku, Apple TV Plus, Amazon Fire, on the WVON app, and at VON.TV. Bond TV, it's cultural content on purpose.
Raising healthy kids starts with the right information. Saturday on UChicago Medicine's Community Health Focus Hour at 1 p.m. Host Carl West will be joined by doctors and nurses from the UChicago Medical Group pediatric team to discuss adolescent health. They will answer your questions and share expert advice on keeping teens healthy, strong, and supported. Encourage your kids to listen with you on WVON and Facebook Live. The Community Health Focus Hour, Saturdays at 1 p.m. powered by the Urban Health Initiative of UChicago Medicine, at the forefront.
This report is brought to you by Lowe's. You want Black Friday prices without the crowds? Lowe's gets it. And $99 is all you need to grab your favorite select pre-lit artificial Christmas tree for the holiday season. Selection varies by location, while supplies last.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Happy Women's History Month from the station that celebrates Black Girl Magic, WVON.
Live from the Xfinity Studios at WVON, it's the Cleopatra Show on Chicago's essential storyteller, 1690 WVON.
And we are back. You are listening to the Cleopatra Show. And listen, guys, I got a special additive. But before I raise up my special in-studio guest, I want to take Daryl's call. Daryl has been so patient, and I'm so grateful. So, Daryl, talk to me. Welcome to WVON.
Hey, Cleopatra, how you doing? Happy birthday to you.
Oh, thank you. I'm in blessed spirits. Thank you. What's on your mind?
I'm glad you are. I know this is a great day for you, and thank you for coming in. Back to my point, I was listening to your callers, and Cleopatra, I was hearing y'all. And my thing is that I'm like, you know what? I don't give no excuse for bad behavior, but there's no flip side. That's what I wanted to say. Cleopatra, you know, just because they were saying how the white kids and you know, Lollapalooza and we're talking about the Puerto Rican Day, I don't care about them. I care about our kids. That's to me what we need to be focusing on.
No, and I get it, which is why in examining our children, you know, if I was put back on my Miss Watson hat, my time in Chicago public schools, they'll tell you, ain't nothing for us to do. What we supposed to be, Miss Watson? What, you know, yeah, I work a job, but I want to kick it. I want to hang out. And the redirect should be, okay, if you want to engage, let me show you how to, young blood. This is not the way. This is how we engage, and this is how we show up. And they think that turn up is cool. And I think the onus is on us to redirect their big energy. And it can't be in some of our communities because we don't have the facilities going for them to thrive.
And Cleopatra, I agree with you. Because you know what? See, I ain't going to believe in excuses for them because I'm like, okay, no, bad behavior is bad behavior. But, you know, all of them going downtown, and it seems like I'm double advocate. Like you said, about 1,000 of them, and they going down there for the purpose of thumbing it up in our faces, people's faces. Say, oh, we can come down here, we can act out and wild out, because that's what that whole forum is all about. And I'm not saying I just know, Cleopatra, what it is, but, you know, for them to go down there and want to do a team takeover, that's the name says for itself. That's what they want to do. So they feel like, okay, well, we can get away with it. Let's go ahead. And I know we don't have nothing, and Cleopatra, we don't have nothing in our neighborhoods, and I'm not blaming them for that. But you got to come back on us too. I mean, it's a lot I wish I could say, but it's like, you know, you need a whole form of this. Like tomorrow, the kids will get there, Cleopatra, and they're going to explain themselves. And it's going to be interesting what they're going to say, because they're going to be venting, they're going to be expressing themselves and everything. The thing is, Cleopatra, I get on off. I know you know, I'm just saying a lot now. But when they do that, are we going to listen? That's the point, Cleopatra.
And that is a huge point, more than you know. Excellent call, and I'm so glad you waited to tell us that, because Bottom line is, when these young folks talk, are we listening? Are we listening? And I'm here to say I may have to reach out to leadership on this, to host a forum. I'm gonna go back to my Miss Watson days. I'm Mrs. Draper now, but I spent a lot of time with youth. I gave more than 10 plus years of my life with teenagers, and I enjoy them. I do, because they don't have nothing to lose. They're the most fearless beings, ready to take on the earth, moldable, shapeable, lovable. But this batch right here, something indicates that somewhere, somehow, they're not receiving the love that they deserve. And I know that. And we know that. And we have to do something about it. So I'm going to switch gears, because my in studio guest is very special to me. And she is a fierce leader and advocate, but a lover of people, plays a significant role in my life, um, and definitely has stepped up with my babies' lives, even my husband. But outside of that, she's a lot of things to a lot of people. So, here I'm running behind her, Maje, and it's 15 other people doing the same thing. And I didn't stop getting jealous a long time ago, only because there's enough room, and I'm blessed to have my own mother, but God has sent me so many other folks that are just willing to just show some love and give it when there's a need, or just in passing. My mother can be all places, so sometimes she be having to scoot over a little bit for folks to say, I just love your baby too. And I just want to welcome and give a warm welcome to Jackie Algie, affectionately known to me as Maje, but to others, she's a labor leader and SEIU, and many things to many other entities. I can put on a number of your hats, but in this role, in this capacity, you're an organizer. And I just want to welcome you. I'm going to put this mic in front of you so you can talk to us, and welcome you officially to the Cleopatra Show, an advocate listener, an avid listener. And I want to talk about No King's Day. Now, we talked about this earlier in the week, and we are on the precipice. We are less than 24 hours away. The third No Kings rally in the country. And the phenom of this is a tidal wave. And you are organizing in a special lens. So earlier in the week, if I could jog you all's memory, we talked to Ed Yonka of ACLU, Illinois. And then we checked down with our sister with Indivisible right there in the heart of Mississippi to have the conversation of, are Black folks going to 10? Where they at? And what's going to be the expectation? Now, with Jackie Algie, a fierce leader with SEIU, HCII, and healthcare, but also organizing through our clergy. So, labor and clergy, what a dynamic duel in terms of organizing right here in the heart of Black Chicago. Talk to me, Jackie.
So, yeah, good morning. Good morning. I am so proud, honored, and just thankful to be here with you, my dear daughter. You're absolutely right. You are one of my special daughters, and we've been that way since the beginning, and will continue to be that way. Before I talk a little bit about No King's Day, I just want to say a big happy birthday to you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
God bless you throughout this new year of yours. So, yeah, we've heard a lot of talk after or post the last two No King Days around where are the Black people, where are people of color, but in particular Black people, where were they? Where were they? Excuse me. And so, yeah, we were there. And you and I talked about it because we saw each other. We were there, and you were even pregnant with one of my grandbabies.
Mm-hmm. I was there for both of them.
Showed up. That's right. And so, we showed up, but we didn't show up like we could, but more importantly, like we should. Because guess what? This is our fight too. And that's what I think was the missing part, or a bit of information that people were not getting or seeing or feeling, for that matter. They felt like it was really directed, the No King's Day was directed more towards issues with ICE and immigration, etc., and were felt excluded. And I say that because, again, I'm in the community a lot, not just in the community for SEIU, but with the faith community. And that is the feedback that I've gotten from them, is like, not only were pastors and other faith leaders saying that, but their congregants were saying it as well. Well, where are we? We don't feel like we're included. We've not been included. So we purposely worked with one of the pastors who's a dynamic leader, Pastor Robert Jones of Mount Carmel Missionary Baptist Church at 29th and Wabash, to offer another option. And this option is not just to come and be in a place, or not just to march from his church to the bigger march, but to really, really have some real conversation about why they should be in that space.
And I'm grateful for it, because I think that collaboration is intentional and needed, because on the flip side of that, and I'm definitely going to open up the phone lines, Black folks are saying, this ain't my fight. I'm going to sit down. My ancestors have fought enough. And I am constantly reminding us, every generation is in a fight for our lives. And right now, this regime, administration, is like no other. They keep using the word unprecedented. That's expired for me. They're constantly the masters of spin and taking us off the square. And what is the focus at this point? And it is absolute survival, right? And I've tried to explain to folks, and we'll talk about this when we return, the why. What does no kings mean? Of course, we do not have a monarch in this country. However, of these sovereign lands, what is it? What are the freedoms that you represent, and what does it mean to you? And uniquely, I went from journalism photography in the moment of taking photos of the whys that were across the spectrum, differentiated. When Bill Nye the Science Guy comes out to march, you know that there's a problem and science is under attack, right? So when you have folks that are completely encrusted in their beliefs of what motivates them out the bed in the morning to come and march for their lives, it is in a multitude of the reasons as to why you are out to protest. And this strong message aligns with the disintegrating approval rate of the president, right? And his administration and his policies. It is an absolute rebuke. But what I'm here to tell you all, it is a message to the world, because they're watching. We'll be back after this break.
More from Cleopatra coming up next on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
This spring, August Wilson's Ma Rainey's Black Bottom comes to the Goodman. It's 1927 Chicago. Ma Rainey, the mother of the blues, and her band are recording an album, but tensions build to one of the most heart-stopping endings in theater. Ife Butler stars, with Chuck Smith and Harry J. Lennox directing the play called A Genuine American Masterpiece. Ma Rainey's Black Bottom starts March 28th. Tickets at goodmantheater.org.
Illinois politicians did it again. They secretly tucked bad policy into the budget. Now, guess who pays the price? Servers, drivers, stylists, workers who depend on tips. Unless Springfield fixes this mistake, your credit and debit cards may not work to pay sales tax or tips, starting July 1st. Tell Springfield, stop the credit card chaos law. Learn more at guardyourcard.com/Illinois. Paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com. If you have a 2004 or newer vehicle that's out of warranty or about to be, Endurance is urgently notifying U.S. drivers about their low-cost vehicle coverage plan designed to save drivers thousands on rising vehicle repair costs. Those who qualify can pick their plan, coverage, and repair shop. Roadside service, towing, and rental cars included. All covered repairs get paid directly to the repair shop for you. Call now for your free quote. Call 800-295-6576. 800-295-6576.
It's Rufus Williams.
This is not the America that we thought it was. Certainly not now. And whatever pushing has to go to reverse that, I'm sure that Keith Ellison and the others there in Minneapolis are doing it, because anything that's happening anywhere can happen right here to us. And there's no reason to believe in any way, shape, or form that you can be separated from it.
Weekdays at 7 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Hey everybody, this is Kendall Moore, the Kendall Moore Show, getting you from your work week to your weekend each and every Friday night from 6 until 9 p.m. I get you from your work week to your weekend. Church, tabernacle.
Kendall Moore, radio for the next generation on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM, WVON. WVON traffic and weather now.
The expressways are in pretty good shape. We're focusing in on Oak Park right now. Apparently, there is some police activity right around Ridgeland Avenue at South Boulevard and Lake Street. So CTA is rerouting the number 86 buses around the closures because of it. Taking a look at our weather, we're beginning to see a gradual clearing of the clouds, but temperatures are still pretty cold and breezy today. We're hovering in the 30s, still 35 at Midway, 36 in North Lawndale, and 36 degrees here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm in Flournoy on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
And now back to the Cleopatra Show on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
And we are back. The time is 11:23. You're listening to the Cleopatra Show, live and in color with me as Miss Jackie Algie, SEIU's finest and fierce organizer, labor leader and all. And she has merged clergy plus labor to move. And we are moving Black folks to understand that this is our moment. No King's rally will transform tomorrow in the city of Chicago, but across the nation, starting at 1:30. And it is going to light up the city. Why should you be there? Let's ask Jackie Algie.
Yeah, so thank you. That's a good question, Cleopatra. Why should you be there? You should be there because it matters. It matters for the world, but in particular, our country and the leaders of this country to see that people are tired. Fannie Lou said it best. Sick and tired of being sick and tired. And to prove that, we've got a number of people that are Caucasian, if you would, from different parts of the city of Chicago, as well the state of Illinois, and around the country. We've got over 3,000 marches happening tomorrow around this country. But they are coming out because they are sick and tired. They thought that they were getting something different, but they found out that they were getting just who he said he would be. And so people need to come out tomorrow to let him know and the administration know that we're not going to take this. We're not going to sit back on it. We're not going to say, oh, well, you know, and we'll just, I heard someone say the other day, oh, what he has about another year or so. And you know, like you're just going to ride this out. No, we're not riding this out. Because here's the thing, to your point earlier, this is not a monarchy, and we're not subjects of his and anybody else's. Now, we might be subjected to lack, which we are, and that's happening every day, unlike any other time in the history of our country. How do you have TSA workers, employees who have been out of pay? They don't get a paycheck, have not gotten one in what? Months. Is it more than 40 days now?
Yes. And we're going all the way back to the end of January. They had a half of check in end of January.
That's right. So how do you work for nothing? How do you have home care workers and hospital workers and nursing home workers and child care workers and people who take care of our children, not only in their home, but in centers, who are threatened to close and to be out of work because of cuts? How do you have that in one of the richest countries in this world? That makes no sense. And if we don't stand up tomorrow and the rest of these days and let them know that we're not going to take this anymore, shame on us. And I mean, that's all of us. We all need to stand. But also, one other thing, in addition to standing tomorrow, keep on standing and vote, because that is what is going to make the difference. That is what is going to truly make the difference.
Absolutely. And I agree with that. So 773-591-1690. If you are participating in No King's Day, give us a call. If you are on the fence about it and you want to share your reasons why you are anti it, give us a call because you might be motivated. I think at some point there has to be something that will get us out to do something. And ultimately, yes, in a democracy, he was voted in, but you'll hear some folks that say, Jackie, I just showed up for the racism. Even Joe Rogan is saying, what are y'all doing? And when you have the people that helped usher him in saying, hey, bro, I didn't sign up for no war. I didn't sign up to not be able to buy groceries. I didn't sign up to not be able to live, to thrive. You know, yesterday we were talking to the alder and the attorneys that are demanding that the Cook County State's attorney not rebuke the special prosecutor because there were human rights violated, some of whom were United States citizens. Why aren't we doing anything about it? I didn't sign up for this, right? So in the opportunity of representing us all, we did not all sign up for all of the shenanigans. And if you don't sign up for the shenanigans, how do you let them know that you're not complicit if you are silent? Closed mouth don't eat, guys.
That's right.
And for those that know something about it, I was just reminding Jackie, when we were there the first round, it was so many people. I said, are we moving? But it didn't even matter because it was so much movement. You know, the messaging and just the spirit across the country, from the red as the red. When you have hillbilly red folk coming out that have never protested in their life, you are doing something. You are waking up those that have been cursed with slumber. And if you know the word, you know what I'm talking about. Slumber is a curse. I didn't say sleep. I said slumber, right? So when you wake them people up, that lets you know that, right? So ultimately, when we come back, because I'm going to take a quick break, it is Funny Clip Friday. So since I got a labor leader in the building, I'm going to play this clip. I got to come for Amazon. Woo! Amazon rough, right? And with the ousting of X amount of employees to replace them with bots and AI, the cruelty with the caliber of wealth Jeff Bezos has. I mean, are they drunk at this point? These greedy mongrels, these oligarchs, if you will, the cruelty of it all, from the Mark Zuckerberg to you all want to holler about an immigrant so much, the Afrikaner that we love to allow to lap us here, and you all drive his Teslas and everything else you own. And some, I know you bought it before we knew he was racist, and we still got it because we don't know what to replace it with. So I forgive you for that. But yet and still, that little mongrel is still running around here, right? But Amazon has done something that is going to wreak havoc in our communities. When you are going to let go of thousands and thousands of employees and replace them with bots.
That's right.
Saturday Night did a parody that is hilarious. And we're going to discuss it on the other side of this break with this fierce labor leader. And I promise you, although it's funny, in the spirit of it, I always have a message. We'll be back.
Clouds are gradually clearing. It's breezy in 36. I'm in Flournoy, and here's what's happening. West Suburban Medical Center in Oak Park and Weiss Medical in Uptown are now transporting patients as they shut down services because of problems with their billing system. According to reports, the hospitals had not been charging patients properly and have to shut down temporarily to fix it. Patients are being moved out today and workers are put on furlough. A spending package that would fund most of the Department of Homeland Security is now in the hands of the House after being approved overnight by the Senate. This brings TSA agents a lot closer to finally getting a paycheck. Perry Williams has more.
Overnight, the Senate passed a bill to fund most of Homeland Security, including the Transportation Security Administration. This air traveler at O'Hare Airport supports TSA agents who have gone weeks without pay.
It's the end of the day. Everybody needs to travel, and the people that work here at the airport should be taken care of, right? Because that's their job, and they shouldn't be put in the middle of a political situation.
The bill, which now goes to the House, would provide funding for all of DHS agencies except for ICE and Border Patrol. I'm Perry Williams.
Funeral arrangements for fallen Chicago firefighter Michael Altman had to be rescheduled because his grieving widow went into labor and gave birth Thursday. Visitation is still happening at St. Rita Cascia Shrine Chapel, while the funeral will be moved to a future date. And Vaughn TV kicks off its new season tonight with the opening feature, Say Her Name, The Life and Death of Sandra Bland. Tracy Shrugs, VON's executive director, says this film goes beyond the headlines and asks questions that still have not been answered.
That's one of the reasons why we decided, this is going to be a perfect film for us to start the series, remembering, who we are, our culture, and folks who were fighting and standing up for us. A lot of people may not know that, Sandy had a blog. I mean, she was conscious and fighting for the rights of, Black Lives Matter before, the headlines.
Nearly 11 years ago, the 28-year-old was pulled over on the outskirts of Houston for failing to signal a lane change. Then 3 days later, she was found dead in her jail cell. Say Her Name, The Life and Death of Sandra Bland kicks off at 7 p.m. tonight on Vaughn TV. That's a look at our news now on 1690 WVON. Traffic and weather up next. WVON News Time, 11:33.
Black Creativity 2026 is now open at the Griffin Museum of Science and Industry. The exhibit features the nation's longest-running exhibition of Black art, plus interactive family experiences, STEAM career showcases, youth flight school camps, and signature events throughout the season. From art and innovation to education and community celebration, Black Creativity uplifts the voices, stories, and contributions of Black artists across generations. Buy tickets today at griffinmsi.org.
It's Gospel with Pam Morris Walton, your gospel sister, on WVON Sundays, 11 to 2 p.m. Music to help you on your journey. I'll see you there, WVON.
It's Matt McGill.
Man, I'm agitated by black people not understanding the moment that we're living in right now, as if we live in a post-racial America. And we're going to sit up here in a city like Chicago with the history of racism and bigotry and segregation. And we got nerve to complain about a black man in some damn snow. In 1995, we had a heat wave. 739 people died in the city of Chicago. And guess what you Negroes did? Y'all reelected Mayor Daley 3 more times after that. Help me help you, or get out the freaking way.
Weekdays at noon on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Hello, Chicagoland. This is your main man, T.O., Mr. Ceasefire Hardiman. I'm inviting all of my friends, associates, and colleagues to tune in to WVON, the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM for the T.O., Mr. Ceasefire Hardiman Show. This show will cover all the hottest topics, including politics, reducing gun violence, and so much more, right here every Sunday morning from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM, WVON. Thank you.
This report is brought to you by Lowe's. You want Black Friday prices without the crowds? Lowe's gets it. And $99 is all you need to grab your favorite select pre-lit artificial Christmas tree for the holiday season. Selection varies by location, while supplies last.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Travel times across the board remain pretty low, but we are looking at an incident along the Bishop Ford on the outbound side at 130th Street. A multi-vehicle accident there right now. It is blocking the 2 left lanes. It's happening right there in the construction zone. Taking a look at our weather, gradually clearing today as temperatures remain right now in the 30s. The National Weather Service says we're headed to a daytime high of 43. Tonight, dipping down to 28. It's 36 at O'Hare, 36 in North Lawndale, and 36 degrees here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm Annette Flournoy on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
And now back to the Cleopatra Show on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Monica, it's midnight, and you seem to have a lot of energy.
I got to. These packages ain't gonna deliver themselves.
Hey, Monica. Hey, Monica, can you just stop that for a second?
Yeah, oh, sure. Okay, yeah, happy to, love to. Yeah, what's up?
So, Prime Day is Amazon's biggest sale event. How was it this year?
Oh, it was amazing. Prime Day is sort of like Hanukkah, in that they said it would last one day, but I worked 8 straight days.
Did you say 8 days?
Oh, yeah. I worked so much I had to make up a whole new day of the week. Flu's Day, yeah. That's when you close your eyes on Friday and wake up behind the wheel on Tuesday, yeah. But I love it, wouldn't trade it for the world. I got a good job.
Well, see, you spend a lot of time working. Do you at least like your coworkers?
Oh, yeah, I love them. I love the people, the drones. Oh, Michael, the drones are so sweet. I actually hooked up with a drone. It's like I always say, can't get an STD if he's got a USB. Think about it.
Do you have any work-life balance?
Oh yeah, Michael, got to. Once a week, I order an Amazon package to my own address just so I can drive by my house and wait on my kids.
Monica, please stop taking that package on live TV.
Oh, Michael, I know how to carry myself. I've been on TV before.
You have?
Oh, yeah, a whole bunch of times. You might recognize me from my viral ring cam video.
Testing for level, testing 1, 2.
Dog into the sun. Swear to God, that was me. Swear to God. I've been on so many ring cameras, I'm getting residuals from ridiculousness.
Well, that's good, I guess. I mean, does Amazon offer you benefits?
Oh, yeah, of course. Got to, yeah. They gave me this vest.
That's it?
What do you mean, that's it? Michael, all the most important jobs get a vest. Crossing guards, service dogs, lesbians.
Lesbians is not a job.
Well, then why they do it?
You know, I never thought of it like that. I'm having trouble understanding. Why are you so happy working at Amazon? Monica! Are you asleep with your eyes open?
Where am I? What day is it? Flu Day? It's Flu Day.
Oh, my God.
I'm sorry. It's just so disoriented to wake up and not be driving.
Monica, I'm starting to think Amazon is overworking you, and the conditions seem inhumane.
Oh, you really think so, Jay?
Yeah.
So, you gonna stop ordering from Amazon?
And we are back. You are listening to the Cleopatra Show. The time is 11:38, and you heard the funny clip. Was it funny, or was it all pun intended? Live in the studio with me is Jackie Algie of SEIU, and we've been talking about No King's Day. And as a labor leader, I have to get your take on that funny clip.
Yeah, so we've got people, workers. That's what I heard from the clip. You got workers who are being overworked and underpaid. And that's not uncommon, especially during these times. You got tipped workers, you got childcare workers, home care workers, healthcare workers, airport workers, TSA workers. You got workers who help to keep this country going that are not being helped to keep going on themselves. And that ain't right. It is not right. So when the sister on the clip said that, she worked 8 days and she's going to have to figure out how to add another day in the week, I get that. Because that's what's happening. We hear people time and time again talking about the double shifts that they're working, the 2 and 3 jobs that they're working just to make ends meet. Now, that's something that you hear come out of the mouths of people that have not normally had to say that, just to make ends meet. But it's real. It is real. And we shouldn't be in this position, right? We should not be in this position. And so when we have a war that we didn't ask to be in, that we're spending $1 billion a day for, and yet we have people, whether this is a comedy act or video, or it's the real deal, people should not be in the positions that we are in now. And so that's why we've got to march, and that's why we got to stand up.
And you said it, the phone lines are yours. 773-591-1690. Have you ever heard of Flu's Day? In other words, she closed her eyes from Tuesday to Wednesday. The benefit she got was the jacket. The ambiance are the drones. And if you ever known anybody that is a worker for Amazon, it's rough up in there. Yeah. I mean, calculated to the T in terms of production, to the amount of time you should spend in the bathroom. It is a wild space. And in the reality of Saturday Night Live, and big ups to them, this is on the heels cataclysmically of Jeff Bezos eradicating thousands of positions nationwide to uplift bots. So again, the attack on working families, and I keep repositioning the language to be what it is. If we're not attacked as working families, we are carrying the load as working families.
That's right.
You know, it is so transferable from us, but then the 1% of the wealth that is being uplifted and the maximization of the wealth building in this moment of the upper 1 percentile is just disturbing and alarming. What do you say to that, Jackie?
Yeah, well, you know, we've got. Do you remember some years ago we had this whole campaign around the 99%?
Yes.
Still exists, but it's on our side. It's 99% of us who are not wealthy, who go to the grocery store and come out with 2 or 3 bags that doesn't have 2 or 3 things in it that they really wanted or needed because they couldn't afford it. They couldn't buy eggs. They couldn't buy milk. They couldn't buy meat. If they still eat meat, they couldn't buy it because it costs too much. They go to the gas pump and they can't afford to buy gas. They can get $5, but they can't get a fill up. There's something wrong with that picture, and we've got to change it. Working people should not be working to the point that they cannot afford to live.
And that is real. 773-591-1690. There's a multitude of reasons. This funny clip folds into the why for me for No King's Day. Here it is. You have these oligarchs that have been promoted to be a part of this regime and how they about face and been a part of the conspiracy, the cabal against working families that are surviving America. Now, that is different than my argument for being Black and surviving America on top of that, right? So the direct attack. Trump said, you know, when the war began, that he created unsanctioned and unconstitutional war, that, the oil industry are going to make the big bucks. They're going to make millions. They're going to make so much money. That is how his mind is wired. And here it is to the point where you have agriculture about to collapse because of the surge in fuel, right? Those that are saying, how do I get to work? All right. The economy is shifting on its axles because of the immediate ramifications based upon this unsanctioned war. And the only thing that came out of his mouth is how much money will be made.
That's right.
You remember that?
That's all he thinks about. That is his primary focus. And if you notice too, Cleopatra, with him, he's the ultimate distractor, right? Because every time it seems like we get just a little bit closer to calling him out and getting him to really pay for all of the damage that he has done to us, he'll throw something else, another wrench in. So this time it was the Iranian war. What will it be next? And can we afford to wait and see? No, we can't. We have got to stand up, and we've got to speak out, and we've got to fight back.
And that way you can do that is tomorrow at No King's Day. And listen, guys, March 28th is going to be lit across the country. Here's what I look forward to. And, you know, WVON, we do a yeoman's job, but big ups to Rachel Maddow, because I'm going to be glued to the TV because she has the manpower to really take a look from an analysis standpoint across the country. And I say that because, and the reddest of reds, areas, Republican, rural, hillbilly, are marching for No King's Day. So if you didn't know, Cleopatra and Jackie are telling you this. In addition to that, I share with the listening audience how I laughed a good hearty laugh knowing that a Democrat is going to rule in Fort Lauderdale over Mar-a-Lago, and it was a trifecta win. And this tidal wave, for what it's worth, now I'm still looking for some residual from the Democratic Party, but for what it's worth, it speaks volumes to the rebuke because he endorsed the opposing person, and she still won. Now, a win, last I checked, is a win.
It's a
Because
win.
if a loss is a loss, a win is a win. I'll take that W. So this tidal wave, what do you say to the projectile of him being a lame duck?
Well,
Because it's coming.
It is coming. Oh, it's coming. And I just want to be alive and ready to really,
Because the stifling of the SAVE Act, the hostages were the TSA, unfortunately.
Right.
And they're about to release the prisoners of war because they are at a standstill, and folks say they want to go home for Resurrection Sunday. So when it impacts the congressional leaders and what they want to do for holiday, then you have to release the prisoners. But we still have to make it to November. So who else will be hostages to get the SAVE Act to pass if it won't be these prisoners?
Well, see, and that's another thing. SAVE Act is, and I'm hearing it in the community. We'll be talking about it tomorrow at No King's Day at Mount Carmel. What that actually means and what it could do and what it's designed to do is to really, really eliminate our votes, prevent us from voting, give us pause and reason to not vote. And so we've got to make sure that that does not pass. We've got to make sure of that. But we also got to make sure that we continue to register people to vote and that we do vote. Don't let this be a deterrent for you because that's what they want. I'd like to also make sure, I don't know how much time we have left.
Well, we're going to have a quick break.
Okay.
And because I want you to, you're mentioning Mount Carmel. So where are you all organizing?
That's
What's
what I
the
wanna
invite?
talk
So when we come back, Jackie Algie is going to give the invite. Okay. And I want you all, particularly Black Chicago, to lean in. Black America, there are opportunities across the country where you can sign up to go to No King's Day. But right here in the city of Chicago, she's going to give us an exclusive as to where you can go, how you can get there safe and to and fro. And when we come back, of course, I got another funny clip. This brother is running viral. I am looking for him like a needle in a haystack because they can't do nothing with him. You want to hear who this is? I'm going to play a clip. And if you know something about it, give me a call. You don't want to miss this.
More from Cleopatra coming up next on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
With your help, the Illinois Lottery generated $784 million for education last year. Play all your favorite Illinois Lottery games today to help raise even more. Be smart, play smart. Must be 18 or older to play. Game odds available at IllinoisLottery.com.
I know you're going to dig this.
That whole picture was AI.
Yeah, the whole picture was AI.
First of all, I'm
going
to tell you, Usher whooped Justin Bieber's ass. I'm telling you right now.
Real or
I
not,
know.
it's trending.
He grabbed Usher because, he's allegedly said it before, right?
Yeah.
He grabbed Usher like he thought he was one.
Yes, he did.
He sure did.
These are my confessions. I don't know.
Sure did.
But
They
that's
say it's
what's true.
AI.
I guess so.
Yeah, that's AI. Because it looked like AI grabbed ATL.
It's the DL Hughley Show.
Hey Alexa, play WVON 1690 AM.
Getting WVON 1690 AM station from iHeartRadio.
Try it out for yourself. America is listening to WVON.
This Saturday, join the Rainbow Push Coalition for our powerful Saturday morning forum as we close out Women's History Month and enter Holy Week with purpose. As global tensions rise, we come together to reflect on the human cost of war and renew our commitment to justice. Featuring Yusuf D. Jackson, Pastor Tish Dixon Williams, and WVON's Cleopatra Draper. Doors open at 8:30 a.m. Forum begins at 10. Meet us at Rainbow Push Headquarters, 930 East 50th Street in Chicago. Or tune in live on WVON, The Word Network, YouTube, and Facebook. Come for the message, leave with the mission.
Keep hope alive. Keep hope alive. Keep hope alive.
Hi, I'm attorney Ernesto Borges. I'd like to invite you to join me for the Borges Report for lively discussions about legal matters, politics, government, entertainment, and the topics that concern you in your life. Start your Sunday the Borges way with the Borges Report.
The Borges Report with Ernesto Borges, Sunday mornings at 9 on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Travel times are still pretty low, but we are tracking a couple of incidents that's causing some street blockage on the west side. Right now, Damon is shut down from 18th Street to Roosevelt Road. That's due to police activity. CTA is rerouting number 50 buses because of it. And in Oak Park, we're seeing some street closure as well due to police activity. It's happening along Ridgeland between South Boulevard and Lake Street. CTA is rerouting the northbound number 86 buses. Taking a look at our weather, we're beginning to see a gradual clearing, maybe a little bit of sunshine, but breezy. Temperatures still in the 30s. Right now it's 36 at Midway, 37 in Crestwood, and 37 degrees here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm Annette Flournoy on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
And now back to the Cleopatra Show on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Somebody in the congregation asked why I'm wearing Christian Dior and Christian Louboutins. Because I'm a Christian and I walk in the blood of Jesus. Give him some praise. I'm a Christian first and I walk in the blood of Jesus. Give him some praise. Give him some praise.
And we are back. The time is 11:52. It's Funny Clip Fridays on the Cleopatra Show. And in the studio with me live and in color is Jackie Algie of SEIU. And she is one of the key organizers right here for No King's Day, bringing both labor and clergy together in a special way. And that funny clip, was it funny? It was a parody. Drewski is going viral right now. The brother is sharp. They're trying to come for him, but there's nothing they can do with him. And he's mocking a pastor that said it. He said, I'm wearing Christian Dior because I'm a Christian and I walk in the blood of Jesus with them red bottoms on. So I just wanted to make you all laugh. And I had to watch that clip a couple times. He said, what? Uh-huh. But I do know some pastors that's like that. Amen. I ain't going to shame you today, but do your thing. Let your wardrobe glow. Now, Jackie, where we got to be tomorrow? Because you are saying Mount Carmel.
Yeah, come on out. Let me just say this. First of all, we have three locals, three SEIU locals in the State Council of Illinois, and all three are participating in the larger march at Grant Park tomorrow. So we expect, somewhere between 400 and 500 people to show up and represent those locals. But in addition to that, people are going to other places around the city and Chicagoland area. For example, Forest Park. I know it's a group of sisters and people that are going, being led by our sister Faith Arnold. They're going there on tomorrow. And Oak Park and Beverly. I mean, they're going a lot of different places. They've got options. But the one that I really hope people will come to as well is Mount Carmel Missionary Baptist Church, 2976 South Wabash Avenue. And we've got a day planned for you. It's going to start at 12 noon and it'll go until 3. We'll serve lunch upon arrival. And we're going to do something different than the marching, as I stated at the beginning. We're going to do some educating and some talking and discussion and sharing about why people should be in this space tomorrow, why we should be on an uprise, why we cannot sit down now because it's too much at stake, and really give people a chance for their voices to be heard, but also for them to learn and think about what is at risk here, what is at stake for them and their families and their communities. So you can come to our office, which is at 2229 South Halsted, and ride the bus if you'd like. And the bus is going to leave there at 11:30 and take you to the church. And then it'll come back at 3 and bring you back to SEIU. But if you want to drive, there's plenty of parking there that's going to be available. And again, you come in at 12, we'll have a brief program, and then we'll get busy trying to see what's going on and why we should make it happen.
Well,
it is our fight too, and that is our motto for this event.
It is our fight too.
Our fight too.
Well, I thank you, Jackie, for your commitment and dedication, not only to serve, but to keep the fight. And as we were just talking off break, keeping hope alive. And speaking of keeping hope alive, guys, also tomorrow, I want you all to consider this. Join our Rainbow Push Coalition for our Saturday morning forum. It's a powerful Saturday morning forum as we close out Women's History Month and enter into Holy Week with purpose. As global tensions rise, we come together to reflect on the human cost of war and renew our commitment to justice, featuring our very own CEO, Yusuf Jackson, Pastor Tish Dixon Williams, and myself, your favorite millennial from WVON, Cleopatra Draper. I'll be on the stage with you all and co-moderating alongside the leadership there. And the doors open at 8:30. Forum begins at 10, and breakfast definitely will be served right there at our national headquarters, 930 East 50th Street. So I want you all to tune in via WVON on our Facebook or through Word Network, YouTube. It's a lot of ways and where you can skin this cat. But bottom line is, come join me. Come hang out with me as I close up Women's Month. It has been an honor to serve and co-moderate over at the Rainbow Push Coalition. And as I told Yusuf and the world, I got his back $100 grand. For those that were asking a question of where do we go from here, come sit in and scoot on over in this pew. There's so much room and where we can serve, and there is plenty work to go around. And when you show up, you gonna want to show out, because there's so much opportunity for you to find your lane, right? And come bring your best gifts to come help guide the ship, because he cannot do it alone. This is not a single movement. This is our movement, and this is our fight. That's right. So listen, guys, I look forward to being with you all. And tonight is the premiere. That's right. Say Her Name. Now, you all have been hearing the promos, but this is an opportunity for us to keep her name alive in the memory of an ancestor who ought not have been, but she was called home at the tender age of 28, an activist found dead in a Texas jail cell after a routine traffic stop, and her name is Sandra Bland. Tonight is the premiere of our on our Vaughn TV platform. 4 nights, 3 feature films, 1 short film showcase to broadcast the revelations of not only what happened to her, but also in her own words. The film explores a 2-year battle between her family and Texas authorities. And to say all of this, we're going to say it all month long with bold storytelling from emerging voices. And Friday night it premieres, debuts tonight. Only on Vaughn TV. You can watch it on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV Plus, the WVON app, or just check it out at Vaughn.tv. But I want you all to continue to keep her memory alive. It is through us that she will live onward, and the stories that we will tell of her life, because it mattered. It has been a blast to be with you all. It's been a blessed birthday start. I look forward to hanging out with some friends. Oh, isn't that? Thank you. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. You're gonna make me be a baby on this station. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Titus. And I just love this black version. Oh, thank you all. So yes, I get to hang with some family and friends. If you know my story, ooh, what a glory. But I thank God for the journey and every year of my life. And this morning I got to raise up an unsung hero. So expect that for the rest of the year. Show me some unsung heroes and I will show you some black excellence. So I thank you all for all of the birthday love. And I'll be back with you all Monday. Class will be in session. So no days off just because I had a birthday. 9 a.m. on the Cleopatra Show. Thank you.
Clouds are gradually clearing. It's breezy with temperatures in the 30s on this Friday, March 27th, 2026. I'm Annette Flournoy, and in the headlines, well wishes go out to Reverend James Meeks, who, according to a press release, is now recovering from a rare but treatable spinal infection. And Vaughn TV kicks off its new season at 7 tonight with the opening feature, Say Her Name, The Life and Death of Sandra Bland. National news from the Black Information Network is next on the Voice of a Nation and the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM, Berwyn, Chicago. It's 12:01.
Here's BIN News Now. The NBA is officially exploring expansion to Las Vegas and Seattle. Commissioner Adam Silver says the league has hired an investment firm to evaluate ownership groups and arena plans.
I think they're Seattle and Las Vegas in terms of their history and support of NBA basketball are unique in terms of available markets in the U.S. right now.
Both cities have strong basketball histories, including Seattle's former Supersonics. Millions are expected at this weekend's nationwide No Kings protests against the Trump administration, with rallies in over 3,000 cities. It's the first major demonstration since federal agents fatally shot 2 Americans in Minneapolis. And Tina Turner's legacy is entering a new chapter. Swedish company Pop House has acquired her name, image, likeness, and most of her music catalog, planning immersive projects to honor her iconic stage presence. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app. Now back to Terry McCready.
Senate Democrats voting yesterday to block a House-passed bill to reopen the Department of Homeland Security. Now President Trump is declaring a national emergency, issuing an executive order to pay